Bowling Green and Tennessee get it started. It's SEC opening night from Neyland Stadium. What a sight to behold. Fans back in the stands, unbridled enthusiasm for the sport we all love. And a grand tradition returns to college football as the Vols take the field through the tee. It's an old tradition. It's a new experience for a lot of brand new faces to this Tennessee program. With that, we get you set for the season opener in the first game of the Josh Heupel era. Welcome, everybody. We are thrilled to be with you for another season of SEC football. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers down on Shields Watkins Field. Cole Cubelic. Cole, let's start with you. You're on the field. The band's down there. What's it like for you, big guy?
We just got Rocky Top. Players run through the tee. We got actual grass down here on the field. Follow me. Look, Tennessee legends in the house right here. How about my man Big Al Wilson checking it out here? VFL in here. The crowd was hyped. The crowd was loud. Fireworks. Guys, I'm just excited to be back into a crowded Southeastern Conference stadium.
We got national champion linebacker Philip Fulmer crashed our production
Cole
meeting
did not need his smelling salts today. He's jacked up.
No, he's ready. And you're jacked up. I mean, to get back on the road and back in stadium.
I tell you what, there was a lot of times in my career where I wanted to be anywhere but Neyland Stadium. Right now, I couldn't be happier to be back, baby.
Vols fans need something to get excited about, and they've got it with Josh Heupel's offense and a brand new quarterback in Joe Milton. They should see a lot of points scored tonight.
Yeah, you remember the old saying, offense wins games, defense wins championships? Yeah, that's in the rearview mirror. That is not college football anymore. You need an offense. The influx of offense throughout the SEC is why Josh Heupel is here. He's going to put up some points, and it's going to be an exciting brand of football.
Milton is a guy who had starts under his belt at Michigan. Cole, he's got a brand new opportunity getting to start here tonight.
Boy, I think that's a key word for this entire team, especially the offense and Joe Milton, Tom. Opportunity, a team that didn't hit 70 plays per game the last 3 seasons. Josh Heupel has an average under 80 plays per game his entire career as a coordinator or head coach. More opportunities to touch the football, more opportunities to gain yards, more opportunities to score touchdowns for everybody on this Tennessee offense, and Joe Milton's got a chance to be the guy that directs it.
This is what Cole's talking about in terms of plays per game, and Josh Heupel has done this in the SEC when Drew Lock was his quarterback as the offensive coordinator at Missouri. What is the sweet spot for Tennessee now taking it back to the SEC?
Well, it's about finding times to go lightning fast with that tempo and when to pull it back. And when you have a new quarterback in a new system, it's not going to be lightning fast every single play, but they want to get a lot of plays up to put a lot of points on the board, and Milton's a talented quarterback that can get them there.
Tennessee won the toss. The Vols have elected to defer. And with the fans and students back in the stadium, we're ready for football time in Tennessee. If there is any question if the Tennessee fans were ready, those questions were answered when we walked to lunch at 1 o'clock this afternoon and the strip was alive. The speakers were out. The music was blaring. And this crowd is properly hyped.
Orange and white checkered overalls all over the place, and they all rallied right here in Neyland Stadium.
Bex and Brooks will get us started. Riley Keller deep to receive. Welcome back, college football. Keller to the 20 and taken down past the 25-yard line. So Bowling Green will come out with Matt McDonald at quarterback. If Tennessee fans are looking for something positive, they will see an opponent tonight that didn't win a single game last year. 0-5 in the MAC. But McDonald in his 3rd season in Scott Loeffler's offense after previously being with them, pardon me, 5th year in this offense after previously being with them at Boston College. Only 1 passing touchdown all of last season for this Bowling Green offense. And they go play action on 1st down under pressure. And McDonald misses on his first attempt. Let's get to know this quarterback from the West Coast. Newport Beach, California. Started his college career at Boston College. He was a high school teammate at JT Daniels for a hot minute. Daniels won the job. He transferred away and then transferred to Bowling Green. He comes from great stock. His dad, Paul, won a national championship for John Robinson at USC back in 1978. Has some huge wins under his belt. Bowling Green finding room on the edge with Jalen Embry. They want to get those guys coming in some jet motion. That's a pickup of 8.
That's exactly the game plan. Speaking with Terry Malone, the offensive coordinator for Bowling Green, they wanted to get movement out of the passing game. You saw McDonald get outside the pocket, play one, and get jet sweeps to get handoffs on the perimeter. Try to get outside of those big boys that are in the middle for Tennessee.
It's 3rd and short. The big boy in the middle for Bowling Green, Cade Zimmerly, is a walk-on freshman. Trying to pave the way, and they cannot. Tennessee with a big stop of Terrion Stewart. Jeremy Banks found his way into the backfield.
Jeremy Banks, Elijah Simmons, there's a lot of beef up there for Tennessee. And Bowling Green, and you mentioned that true freshman walk-on center, Cade Zimmerly, just couldn't get any push. Look at 51 right there. Elijah Simmons, 340 pounds. That guy is a monster up there, and they didn't move him an inch.
So Bowling Green goes 3 and out on the Falcons' first possession. Matt Naranjo into punt, play clock winding down, and that'll hit zeros. There's one thing to really consider and keep in mind when you watch Bowling Green tonight. Yeah, they did not win a game last year. They had a very tough season. Everybody went through the ringers of dealing with COVID and getting on the field, but only 5 games, very little reps, only 2 weeks to even prepare for that 5-game season.
5 games with a weird offseason in COVID, and really their starting quarterback, Matt McDonald, he was hurt all of last year. Yep. Shoulder injury to his throwing shoulder, got that fixed after the season. So look, this is a team that's going to continue to grow, and we're seeing a better product right now than they had all of last year, especially from a health and depth perspective.
This is a very, very young Bowling Green team. They lost nearly 100 players. Transferred out over the or left.
That's
or
crazy.
Eligibility and over the last 3 seasons. Theo Jackson will let it drop, and Tennessee will have favorable field position after a 36-yard punt. And the first possession for Michigan transfer Joe Milton III. 8 games for Michigan over 2 seasons. When he got to Michigan, they were a great program. They're 5th in the country in the Ohio State game when he was a freshman. Played behind Shea Patterson a little bit. Won the job early last year, then lost it late. He wasn't here for spring ball, so he had to really pick up the pace in terms of his prep to get ready to run Josh Heupel's offense.
And get ready to see the arm of Joe Milton. At some point early in this game, they're going to stretch the field, and he can do it with the best of them.
Jabari Small is his tailback. And on first down, Small finds just 1 yard.
First thing that sticks out to me is the size, Jordan. Just seeing him at field level, he is a monster at quarterback.
I tell you what, I stood at practice 10 yards away from him yesterday, and I was like, man, he looks like a linebacker, a tight end. I mean, anything but a quarterback, but I'll tell you what, he's a heck of a player under center.
6'5", 244 as he connects with Jacob Warren. It seems like the arm strength is a perfect fit for what Josh Heupel wants to do, stretching the field both directions.
Absolutely. You'll see this offense. A little quick game there to the boundary. This offense wants to go with tempo. They want to stretch the field from sideline to sideline, create conflict for underneath zone and man defenders, and then at times stretch the field vertical as well.
Field's 53 yards wide. They're going to split the receivers, about 48 of those. And a gashing run because of those huge holes, and it's a pickup of 9 for Small.
And a great job on the left side of this offensive line. Jerome Carvin, 6'5", 320, had a huge block to open up the hole there.
Again to the ground game, and that'll pick up a fresh set of downs for Tennessee. Small sophomore from Memphis opens the season on the Doak Walker Award list for the best running back in college football.
All right, here's a moment you might see a shot.
Fastball to the outside for Javonte Payton.
And you saw that throw right there. The arm strength, right? Even on those short throws, the quicker, the faster, and the more accurate that ball gets to the perimeter, the more time Joe Milton's receivers have. Great throw early.
Opening drive for Tennessee. On 2nd and 4, they go again to that screen. Payton bends it back to the outside to gain 7.
Javonte Payton, a guy that transferred from Mississippi State, a veteran, good route runner, adds a lot of depth to the outside here, and they need it, right? So much tempo. These receivers are running the entire game. Got to be able to rotate guys in.
They do keep it simple in one respect. They just go left and right side to help with that tempo. Here's Milton, a load to bring down on a busted play, picks up 5. Davon Ferguson, transfer from Kansas, one of 7 Power 5 transfers in this Bowling Green program this year. Little pump. There's the go, and bullet too high, but a flag on the play. Darren Andrews came in and delivered the hit on Milton. Steve Marlowe is our referee tonight.
First down.
Flag holding on the defensive back Marcus Shepard, but how about this pop late?
Yeah, they try to lull you to sleep. Short throw, then they pump it. Milton takes his first hit there. Sometimes that wakes you up a little bit. I always like getting hit early in a game.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want my head taken off, but, you know, a little pop wakes you up.
Did you get hit early in the game when you played here?
All the time. I got hit early in a game every game I played, Tom. You remember where I played football?
Yeah, I sure do.
We had some skinny linemen back there.
Milton wants a play call to come in a hurry so they can go tempo 2nd and 7 now. Volunteers looking to score on their opening drive. They go back to Jabari Small. He takes it inside the 5, but just short of the first down. All right, if you were going to critique Heupel's offense, they did struggle red zone and 3rd down in terms of how efficient they could be.
Yeah, and that's kind of the track record even at UCF as we see Milton here.
There's your answer. Touchdown, Joe Milton.
What I was just about to say.
4-yard touchdown run. And Joe Milton III, the Michigan transfer, takes it in.
Used to it, Tennessee fans. We see a lot of points out of this Josh Heupel offense. What I was about to say is the quarterback run adds an element on 3rd down and the red zone that Heupel didn't really have at UCF. And he has that now with Milton.
Chase McGrath punches it through. Tennessee's offense off on the right foot behind Joe Milton III. And the Volunteers have an early touchdown advantage. Tennessee fans have been hungry for a winner. They're going to take a bite out of a high-calorie offense starting tonight.
That sweet nectar. It's called points. It's what you want to do in football. It's kind of fun for the people sitting in the stands, having a beer, eating something. You want to see points, right? That's why Josh Heupel's here. It's going to be a fun offense to watch. You know, little dink and dunk early in this game, but they're going to open it up at some point.
Milton has started the game a perfect 4 for 4 on that scoring drive, which lasted under 3 minutes.
That's what you want, right? You want to get your quarterback comfy, cozy, feeling good early in a game, right? Get some completions under his belt. Take a hit or two. Ran in the touchdown at the end there. They're just getting started.
Riley Keller, freshman from Toledo, back to receive for Bowling Green. Keller to the 20 and down to the 22.
Boy, I can tell you guys, down on the field, a lot of energy, not only from the Tennessee fans. Feels like this place is sold out, but also on that Tennessee bench. I went right over behind quarterback Joe Milton after that last series. Just wanted to see what it was going to be like. First successful drive coming off, a lot of energy. I feel like every teammate came over, giving him 5, patting him on the helmet. He goes right to the phone. Obviously going to get on with his offensive coordinator, have a conversation, but the energy, Tennessee fans couldn't sit down after that last drive, guys. Going so fast, not sure a lot of ball fans used to it. Didn't want to miss anything.
We'll see how much energy Bowling Green has, by the way. They were at the stadium extra early today, like early afternoon for an 8 o'clock start. Matt McDonald, offseason shoulder surgery, ready to go here. Second year as a starter. He finds Jason Patterson, Jason is forced out of bounds by Trayvon Flowers.
Well, had a great job by Flowers. One of the experienced veterans on the back end. It's really the strength of Tennessee's defense, the experience, the speed, the talent on the back end. Couple question marks in front there. But right now, I feel pretty good about that secondary.
They're without one of their promising players, Byron Young. Will not see action in this game tonight. Fast defensive end trying to set up the screen to Austin Osborne, who was a high school teammate of Mac McDonald, and Tennessee all over it. Theo Jackson, the senior from Nashville, with the play. Cole, you talked about the atmosphere here and the energy. How'd you like to be Cade Zimmerly, true freshman walk-on center?
I'd say the first thing I wouldn't like is being in gun right now, Thomas. I can barely hear you in my headset. He's not hearing anything Matt McDonald's saying to him right now. He's got to get the tap from his guard. Got to get the tap from the guard to know the snap count. Have to communicate and then get a good snap. Fall in front of somebody if you have to.
Pocket holds, but it's batted away. Elijah Simmons came right through that gap.
Already said his name a few times. The redshirt sophomore, 6'2", 340. Tom doesn't even fit in a bod pod. There's a reason for that. Just look at how he manhandles. It's supposed to be a double team. Well, yeah, I'm just going to squeeze right in here between two 300-pounders and it'll make it look easy.
That pocket was about as tight as the one on the back of your suit trousers.
You know, Tom, it's called Italian tailoring, I believe. Not sure. Not sure if it looks good, but yeah, that's what we're doing.
Ron senior from Skokie, Illinois, on to punt it away. Bayless Jones in his 6th year, leading all FBS and kickoff return career yardage. Vols come after it. They got off early. It's low line drive. Jones will let it go. Man, they are anxious to make some plays. Christian Charles was coming hard off the edge. We'll see if he got off a little premature. 46-yard punt as it is.
There is no foul for illegal formation on the kicking team. First down, Tennessee.
Second crack at it for Joe Milton. Show us his game.
Oh, he's got talent that fits this offense. Arm strength is one of them. You've seen that already. Another thing, he's played a lot of football. He knows how to control defenders with his eyes. Wants to hit the outside seam here. And look at the ball placement, the velocity, the accuracy. That's big time right there. Now, one area of improvement, pre-snap recognition. Couple things he should have seen to the field there. Never saw the blitz coming. That blitz took a long time. Something I think Josh Heupel will help fix. And Alex Golesh, they're going to narrow his focus pre-snap. They move fast. There's 2 or 3 options instead of 4 or 5. He's going to be looking in the right spots, and that's an area pre-snap that he's going to improve drastically in this offense.
They ask him a lot. They ask him to do a lot in this offense, even if they can simplify where he's looking. He fires one sidearm. He got some juice on that.
It would have been nice at one point in my entire career to be able to throw a football that came out of my hand that fast. Didn't have that luxury.
Vols baseball coach Tony Vitello is now checking to see if he's interested in pulling a Condrich Holloway coming out for the UT baseball team. Hesitation, and it looks like he picked up the first down. And they'll move the chain. 1st and 10 for Tennessee. Jabari Small in there at running back. Cole, this is a Tennessee team that saw multiple running backs move on in the offseason that are going to contribute to power programs elsewhere.
I think you have a nice stable that this staff is comfortable with. Tygon Evans is going to give you a little bit of a bigger back, thicker back. Jabari Small went first tonight. He gives you maybe a little bit more explosiveness. They like what Jalen Wright did coming out of the spring, so they have options.
Milton going deep. There's that arm. And he sends it to the checkerboard over Cedric Tillman.
Yeah, Cedric Tillman's going to be an important part of this offense moving forward. He's a deep threat, big body, 6'3" receiver. This is one of those times that when you throw fastballs as good as Joe Milton does, the times you have to take a little off it, you got to not spot throw that. Don't throw that to a spot on the field. Give that air and throw it to the person. I know that sounds like second nature. Yeah. Sometimes quarterbacks start staring at areas on the field. They try to land the football there instead of putting air and let your receiver make a play on the football there.
3rd and 4. He'll take it all the way. Milton picks up the first down. Scramble of 13 on the QB draw. Milton staring to the left side, looking over the middle, directing traffic. And a little comeback route for Jalin Hyatt, breaks a tackle. And Hyatt's got him at a 1st and goal after a pickup of 30.
Here comes that tempo. Already tell Bowling Green, hands on hips, they're a little tired, trying to get lined up, and oh, and see, there comes a snap. I mean, it's so quick, this tempo.
Ruling on the field with a completed catch for a 1st down. The previous play is under further review.
How does Josh Heupel want to measure the tempo of this? Is it simply by plays? Is it effective plays?
Yeah, it's kind of momentum, right? I mean, if you get stuffed on a 2-yard run, it's tough to go tempo there. You have a big chunk play like here. Jalin Hyatt dancing on the sideline. Looked like his foot was in to me. I think that's what they're taking a look at. Big chunk plays like that, those big boys on the other side are running a lot. You want to get back to the line of scrimmage, snap, make them tired. Don't give them time to line up in the right formation, take advantage of that.
Stan Murray is our replay official, taking a look at this reception by Hyatt, sophomore from Irmo, South Carolina. They're looking at the right heel, and on that first look, you could tell there was still green between the white cleats and the sideline.
I'll tell you what, I'm excited about Jalin Hyatt. You know, I mentioned Cedric Tillman. Alex Golesh, the offensive coordinator, said he's one of the most important pieces for this offense to be successful on the outside, the perimeter. I'd say Jalin Hyatt's the other one. The speed he has to stretch the field, the speed, and you saw the wiggle there on the quick screens to make guys miss. He's going to be an important piece of this offense as well.
Well, you need a weapon on both sides, right? Because eventually they're going to take one side away. Can they take all 4 away, spreading 53 yards?
I'll tell you what, there's some teams in this league, they got 2 pretty good cover guys. You know, you got to at least have 2 guys on the outside that can make plays.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. 1st down, Tennessee.
And fellas, keep in mind, talking about those receivers for the Vols. Jimmy Callaway out tonight. Cody Burns, wide receiver coach, told me before the game he might be the most talented one we have.
Wow. Second possession of this game for Tennessee. And Small with the bounce. Gets cut down at the 1. 3-star recruit out of Briarcrest Christian in Memphis.
Watch for this zone keep again for Milton.
Gives it up this time, and they get another 6. 1-yard plunge for Small, ran right through Darren Anders. Well, Joe Milton's off to a pretty good start. 7 of 8 to start this game. That was a 2-minute possession. They covered 67 yards. Chase McGrath is a USC transfer. He'll attempt the point after for Tennessee. That was one of the competitions that went down the wire. McGrath on the Lou Groza Award watch list as the nation's best kicker. Didn't play last year at USC due to injury. Bangs it through. Tennessee up 14-0. How happy you to be back? How happy are Tennessee fans to see this?
I tell you what, they are making this look easy, but the last few years for Tennessee have been anything but easy. It's a welcome sight, and I tell you what, this Tennessee offense is just getting started.
SEC Network Football is brought to you by Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
Only one other meeting between these programs happened in Nashville. Alvin Kamara, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. That guy was pretty good. Tennessee with a comfortable win in that game. Eric Dieter was a great wide receiver for Bowling Green. Ended up at Alabama. He also had a big game in that one when their quarterback, Matt Johnson, threw for 424 yards. Bowling Green has a handful of wins against SEC schools, 4 as a matter of fact, 3 against Missouri and 1 against Kentucky. And they're already trailing by 2 touchdowns here, 6:52 to go in the first. Riley Keller. He'll bring it out this time. Well, Joe Milton's gotten off to a great start, and he may steal the honor of the most popular man on campus from one Tony Vitello, the Tennessee baseball coach, is standing by with Cole.
Tom, you mentioned his name, Tony Vitello, baseball coach. Congrats on the contract, fresh off a College World Series visit. We're talking about Joe Milton's fastball. We also are going to talk about, can he develop other pitches, so to speak? Have you had a pitcher with an elite fastball that needed to develop other pitches, and how'd you help him do it?
Yeah, I think Garrett Crochet is a name that sticks out. Really, our MVP last year, Sean Hunley, was a reliever who worked predominantly off his fastball, and I think you want to stay true to who you are and not try and confuse things and think your best can beat the opponent's best. But at the same time, you got to get creative and find ways to find confidence and other ways to beat the opponent.
Get this play in, Tom. Coach, obviously the energy in this stadium, fantastic. A lot of folks would say your team kind of responsible for this. You're having block parties, people standing on top of buildings watching you guys. How does it feel for you coming off what your team accomplished, seeing these fans here in Neyland tonight?
It's tremendous. The best thing to see is the student section. This is the most filled and most rowdy the student section has been since I've been here. And it changes the environment for everybody. The rowdy people, the people that just want to sit on their hands and just watch the game. And that's what we had going on in our baseball stadium. Vols fans will come out in as big a numbers as anyone in the country, but when the Vol fans are students, it makes it that much better.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, Matt McDonald able to hook up with Jaden McKinstry. What a run for Tennessee baseball last year, back to Omaha in the College World Series for the first time since 2005. Bowling Green picks up a first down, and Matt McDonald just, you can feel like he's itching to find some rhythm.
Needed that. And it was interesting. Bowling Green's a team that likes to operate with multiple tight ends, condense the sets, create space on the outside. That time, they spread the set, found some space that way. And here again, spreading the set, not traditionally what Bowling Green wants to do, but maybe finding something in the quick game out of these spread sets.
Scott Leffler's got a lot of big game experience. Started his career as a student assistant at Michigan after an injury ended his career, where he mentored Tom Brady. There's a little shovel pass, should be incomplete, and it is indeed. But the pressure was brought. This play will be whistled dead back at about the 22. Pressure was brought by Dejon Terry, the transfer from Kansas. A lot of great talent left Les Miles' program. We're seeing one of those pieces right here.
Yeah, one of the transfers that make an immediate impact. I mean, that's a big boy right there, and as a quarterback, it's just not a good play call when you got 330 pounds running at you, trying to get a shovel pass. Caleb Tremblay, another transfer from USC, was sitting right there, read it as well.
They're going to get McDonald for intentional grounding. You know, it's unfair for Terry. The guy weighs 325 pounds. He was a great basketball player in high school, Meridian, Mississippi. The only reason he gave up basketball is he got crossed over one time, and he ended up in his back, and he said, all right, I need to look for a scholarship somewhere else. This dude's 300 pounds dunking the ball.
He's like, I prefer putting people on their back than getting put on my back. So now he's a defensive lineman. Makes a lot of sense.
A redshirt sophomore. He's still very young from a football perspective. Not a whole lot of reps in that 325-pound body. And if that's the case, Allen Iverson should have sent 150 people to football. You crossed over once and you bailed.
Breaking ankles left and right.
Second down, 16. Incomplete.
It's just great coverage here by Theo Jackson, another one of those experienced, talented players on the back end. Just trying to run a little stick route, outside release, and he was all over them.
Bowling Green's kind of a throwback offense. They want to use multiple tight ends a lot. They're without one of them, Tyrone Broden, tonight. That was Levi Gazaric. Couldn't haul it in. Third down, 16, getting loud. Play clock at 3. They're going to run it on 3rd and 16, and Stewart is stood up at the line of scrimmage, no gain. Alontae Taylor, preseason 3rd-team all-conference with the hit.
Bowling Green, I mean, just by that play call, you can tell they don't feel comfortable with a lot. 3rd and 10, you're handing the football off. That's a good sign for Tennessee. They're getting pressure up the middle. They're getting pressure off the edges, and they're rallying to the ball carrier. That's exactly what new defensive coordinator Tim Banks wanted to see. Wanted to see his guys compete.
Banks' last 5 years at Penn State, they had a top 25 defense every one of those 5 years. Naranjo again. Here's Theo Jackson from the 29. And we got a flag at the end of the play. 49-yard punt, 7 on the return. And another opportunity for Joe Milton. Check the field position after the infraction. Here's Steve Marlowe.
During the return, blocking the back, receiving team, number 8. The penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. First down, Tennessee.
A near perfect start for Tennessee's offense under first-year starter Joe Milton III. They've scored on each of their first 2 possessions, trying to make it 3 in a row. I heard Tony Vitello mention it just feels different with the students in the stadium, and a great crowd on hand today for the opener on a Thursday night, which is a rarity, of course, here on Rocky Top. Tennessee and Bowling Green in a fantastic start, the Josh Heupel era in terms of the offense. My man, by the way, the DJ, was hype early.
Spitting it down there. I mean, we were doing hits down there. I was dancing.
Yeah.
My dance moves aren't good.
You know what else? It doesn't matter. Yeah. Dance like nobody's watching. Tennessee's first quarter scoring was abysmal last year. They didn't score more than a touchdown in any single game in the opening frame. Already 14 points tonight.
Yeah, look, the level of competition isn't going to be what it is in the SEC, but these are important reps to set the tone for the season, how you execute and what this offense is supposed to look like.
Pressure coming from the edge from Bowling Green, and Tyon Evans goes right past it to pick up 6. And an offensive lineman slow to his feet.
Cooper Mays, the center there.
Cooper and his brother Cade in the lineup tonight. Dad Kevin was an all-conference offensive lineman here back in the early 90s. Straight ahead, that was a big hole, but it's plugged quickly, and Evans maybe finds a couple. And then he's going to keep it rolling and just shove it forward and end up a half-yard short.
I tell you what, he took Bryce Brand for a ride there. Brand, one of the transfers for Bowling Green, formerly at Maryland, West Virginia. He's 250 pounds. Evans just took him for a ride at 220. That's what pad level does, Tom. Lower man wins.
3rd and short. They get the 1 and a couple more from Evans, who transferred in from Hutchinson Junior College in Kansas, was the #1 rated junior college running back.
Well, we'll see Cooper Mays checking out of the lineup. He and his brother Cade actually started a game together last season, talked to Cade about just what that's like, what it feels like. He said it'll be good to do it again. It'll be cool to do it again, but not a lot changes. Obviously, they communicate a lot during the course of the week. They understand the O-line language. He said it's pretty cool just to have him around, but pretty special to think about your dad having worn this uniform, and then you and your brother get to line up together on the offensive line. Unfortunate to see Cooper go down here with an injury.
Brother Cade started his career at Georgia, made 18 starts there.
You know, another part, Tom, of what we talked to Coach Heupel about is how the strength and conditioning program has helped certain individuals change their bodies and allow them to do different things that this offense is going to require. And I wondered how that would impact Cade. First thing I noticed, he came out for warm-ups. I was watching him. He does appear to have more of a tackle body. He looks longer. He looks leaner.
Meanwhile, in the back end of that play, you can see what caused Cooper Mays to go down, and he'll take a trip into the injury tent.
As that right ankle there just gets landed on.
Ollie Lane replaces Mays at center. From over in Corydon, Tennessee, Gibbs High School. Fresh set of downs for Tennessee. And here's Evans again. Milton. Good coverage downfield. Lets it rip. And he's able to fit it into Jalen Hyatt for 19.
This is a great job by Milton, working through progressions. Remember the highlight I showed you earlier, using his eyes, and this time stepping up and finding Jalen Hyatt late over the middle.
Fourth catch for Hyatt already. Milton to the edge, flag down. Velus Jones. You can start to see as you watch this offense, and with man coverage at Satch Jones, you can start to see the next play of that same formation, right? If he's got man coverage,
holding,
bye-bye.
Offense number 58, 10-yard penalty, first down.
I feel like in this day and age, we like to complicate offense, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to have so many plays, and it's just, you know what? Sometimes you see something on a hitch and the guy's jumping it, go hitch and go. Don't wait, don't put it 2 quarters later, just come back and call it. We'll see if Heupel's setting up something here, a couple hitches and short throws in a row.
First and 20. And trying to run it with Evans, who's taken the bulk of the carries now after Jabari Small started the game. It's a loss of 4.
Watch Cedric Tillman here, top of your screen in the slot. Last time they moved him in there, tried to go to the ball with. There you go. Yep.
Sits down, takes it in. Now that'll make it 3rd and 16.
You start to understand why they move guys, right? Tillman's a guy that's been on the outside. Last 2 times they brought him inside. One was a shot, that one a little option route, the ability to work in space.
Wide receiver coach Cody Burns told me he does cross-train those guys as well.
Wow, Milton's got all day. And then he eventually gets taken down midfield. Couldn't pull the trigger. Carl Brooks out of Lansing, Michigan with the sack.
Yeah, watch tight end Princeton fan up the middle here from the inside the bottom of your screen. That's where Milton should go with the ball right now. That hole that opens up right there, he's looking to the outside. That one's the first in your progression. Don't try to do too much. Missed one there, but Fant's going to be a guy that's going to be interesting how they use these tight ends, how that evolves moving forward for this offense.
Alex Golish, before going to UCF, the new offensive coordinator, was at Iowa State, where he worked with Charlie Kohler, one of the best tight ends in the country. First punt of the night for Tennessee. Paxton Brooks. Embry takes a fair catch inside the 5. Well, we told you a little bit about Matt McDonald and his dad. While he was at USC playing for the great John Robinson, man, did he have some big wins. Went on the road, knocked off #1 Alabama September of 1978. The lefty also outdueled Joe Montana in Notre Dame. It's Montana nearly completed the comeback. Rose Bowl against Michigan. That's a win in a top 5 showdown. and a national championship in 1980 after the 79 season. Eked out a win against Ohio State. He also had some pretty good talent in the backfield. Marcus Allen in play.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah,
he was pretty good.
Charles White, Marcus Allen. Yeah, he was 22-1-1. His dad Paul as a starter.
It seems ideal.
Now working from the checkerboard, swings it outside, and he'll have a little bit more breathing room after the completion to Javon Henderson.
Just the 5th positive play for Bowling Green. They got to start stringing a few of those together. They'll want to move the pocket, see if they go back to the quick game. They're going to call a timeout here. Actually, that's the quarter there.
Tennessee has won 28 plays and they've scored 14 touchdowns. Great start for the Tennessee offense, dominating first quarter. The band is back. Power T is on the field. They're running through the T here at Shields Watkins' 100th birthday of this fantastic facility. And Tennessee off to a rip-roaring start. Yeah, welcome home to college football. What a weekend we have after an appetizer of games last week. Now we go full bore. Entrees on the table. Alabama and Miami on ABC Saturday at 3:30. LSU's making a trip to the West Coast. Georgia Clemson, the big one, Saturday night on ABC. And Ole Miss has a chance to impress. Pick one.
Georgia Clemson. You kidding me? We're going to learn a lot about both those teams early on. Not going to affect either of their playoff chances down the road, but you get a good measuring stick about where those two programs are.
Cole, what do you expect in the Bama game?
Unless Rhett Ashley can find a way to go absolute warp speed, like ×2 of what Josh Heupel has done tonight, and hit some explosive plays early, and Alabama offensive line breaks down, and Bryce Young is confused, which Manny Diaz has had a tendency to do before, I don't really see Miami being able to hang in that game.
Ooh, all right. Second down to start the second quarter. Tyron Stewart is in the backfield. McDonald to the edge. It's good for a first down. Javon Henderson with a pickup of 12. Bowling Green, quite frankly, they're aware that they are overmatched in this game. So it's tough sometimes to draw up a game plan if you're offensive coordinator Terry Malone. Spent a lot of time at Michigan, was a tight end back in his playing days, but he's realistic about it. So what can they hope to accomplish in this thing if the score gets out of control?
Well, control the ball, right? Throws like that. Get their running game going on the perimeter. It hasn't been working between the tackles. A jet sweep here or there. Find ways to get positive plays and string them together.
Off the back foot, incomplete.
It's tough, though. I mean, Bowling Green, you mentioned the true freshman center, a walk-on. The right tackle, Jordan Murphy, he moved from defense at the beginning of fall camp. He's your starting right tackle. I mean, so it's just, this is a team that is young. They're inexperienced. They're going to continue to grow. Only 5 games last year, like you mentioned. Their best football is ahead of them. It's a tough matchup out the gate.
They have 71 underclassmen on the roster. Their 2 deep is littered with freshmen. It's the first time 70% of the roster even went through a training camp. All over the screen they tried to set up. Theo Jackson first one there. It's a loss of 1.
And Theo Jackson has been all over the place tonight for Tennessee. I mean, he's just so quick to the ball. Great trait, instinctive. Now a big third down. It's good to hear some noise on a third down here in Neyland.
Wow, what a grab on the wheel route and a little bit of room to rumble for Johnson. 31-yard gain. What a play drawn up, and the freshman from Frankfort, Illinois, with a big play for Bowling Green.
And a great play design here. A little pin by 2 over routes to pin that linebacker in the box, and you get your running back, Jamal Johnson, out on the perimeter. And look at the hands. Come on now. Who needs 2? It's a big play for Bowling Green. Best play of the night.
Bowling Green will use a timeout. Falcons don't want to waste this opportunity early in the second quarter into Tennessee territory. Has a comeback in him. Today would be the day. You see, 49 years ago today, then Bowling Green senior Dave Waddle fell behind by 20 meters 30 seconds into the Olympic 800. He came back and won. Favorite Yevhen Arzhanov hadn't lost in 3 years. Waddle had the kick and ended up taking home the gold medal. He would say later, he goes, the beauty of that race is if you watch it backwards, I wouldn't go in either direction.
How about the hat forward? Hey, who needs aerodynamics?
Oh, getting creative on the throwback, and Bowling Green trying to take some shots, able to pick up 7. You said during the break this is the opportunity to take some chances.
Yeah, anytime you got a timeout, talk through a protection, have a gadget play, try to do a little double reverse. That's just a lot of moving parts there, right? I mean, surprised they protected it, but great job by Matt McDonald at just checking it down. Nothing was there over the top. Keep moving the sticks if you can. Get into a second and short.
McDonald was in front of JT Daniels at Mater Dei in California. Daniels was a freshman, got injured. Daniels ended up taking the job from him, so he transferred to Mission Viejo on the slant. Austin Osborne, who was a high school teammate of him at Mission Viejo, but spent the last couple of years at the University of Washington.
And he's a former 4-star. Boy, that ball, I don't know if that got tipped. That ball had to get tipped because that was a dead duck flying right at Osborne. He did a great job of bringing that one down. He's going to be crucial, right? Anytime you have a history with a receiver, a chemistry, I mean, McDonald's going to be looking his way a lot. He's a big-bodied 6'2" receiver they needed.
Only 5 career games with the Huskies. Terrion Stewart in the backfield. They'll give it to Stewart, trying to find some room inside. You watched some film on Matt McDonald from last year, and after hearing that he was injured, it made a little bit more sense, some of his physical limitations. Does he look healthier tonight?
Yeah, he does. I think the ball's coming out a little cleaner. It looked last year like he was trying to throw the football hard. And I was watching that film before I knew he was injured, talking to the coaches, so it makes sense. He's more relaxed. His mechanics are a little tighter this year. Still got a little loop in his throwing motion, but definitely looks healthy.
Four-man rush for Tennessee. McDonald goes deep. And coverage downfield by Warren Burrell, Jr. from Suwanee, Georgia. New opportunities for a lot of these guys in Tennessee Orange, and they force another 3rd and long. Bowling Green with its 10th play of the drive. Big stop short of the chain by Javon on the completion to Javon Henderson.
Got to go for it.
Yeah,
right?
keep yes.
Come on. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, come on.
Nate Niederman, yeah, looking for some points.
Field goal team needs reps too, Jordan.
Yeah, that's true. Just, you know, I'm a quarterback. I'm biased, selfish.
Diva. What, did I say that? Needham pursuing his master's in business administration, former Penguin from Youngstown State. This will be a 42-yard attempt. And Bowling Green is on the board. Falcons converted a huge 3rd down to go into Tennessee territory for the first time, and they find points off of this drive, 14-3.
Ball is brought to you by Farm Ridge. Grab a snack.
Well, a fantastic event this morning when Tennessee unveiled a new permanent tribute to 4 trailblazers from throughout the storied history of Tennessee football. And one of the loudest ovations you'll hear tonight came when they announced Condredge Holloway, Lester McLean, Jackie Walker, the Artful Dodger, Holloway, and T. Martin shown in the plaza out there. Wide receivers coach for the Ravens. Commissioner Greg Sankey is here today. We literally ran into Philip Fulmer today, and I said, tell me about Condridge Holloway and how he got the nickname the Artful Dodger. When Holloway first got here, and he was a two-sport star after being drafted by the Expos, they had a great offensive line, including Philip Fulmer. And then all those guys left. And Condridge said, I didn't want to be the Artful Dodger. I wanted to stand in the pocket like Peyton Manning would eventually do. Unfortunately, we had all underclassmen on the offensive line. I was running for my life.
No one wants to run for their life. It's a good thing you had the skill set to do so, but it's not fun for any quarterback.
Bayless Jones takes it out to the 30 and down to the 32. Condridge, by the way, from Alabama, wanted to play at Alabama. Bear Bryant said, you can come here and play football, but Alabama isn't ready for a black quarterback, so therefore ends up in Tennessee. Later on, by the way, T. Martin would be the first black quarterback to win an SEC title and a national championship. And he sent Condridge Holloway a signed picture that said, thanks for opening the door.
How cool is that? That's a great story. Great that they're now forever going to be commemorated out there outside the stadium. How about Philip Fulmer just poking his head in our meeting?
How funny was that?
Like, hey, this thing open?
I was just telling the story about Fulmer being on the offensive line and the offensive line turnover. We're in the restaurant at the hotel. The door opens and Fulmer says, hey, what time do y'all open? And we just looked at each other and said, did he get the memo?
Yeah, what?
I literally looked at Tom and said, you going to ask him?
Oh, it was funny. In town with a lot of his at the game and running around with a lot of his former teammates. 3rd and 10. Milton able to get a few. That drop cost Tennessee a big opportunity, or that miss a couple plays ago. And after a gain of 5, facing a 4th down, it was a juggled pass by Hyatt that he couldn't haul in.
And one of those passes that we talked about, Milton's fastball. He's got it, and he's super accurate with it. Some of those throws, though, take a little juice off it, lead the receiver a little bit more on that one. He's firing a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, and it ends up just on the back hip. It's tough for the receiver to make that play.
Another punt for Paxton Brooks. And that one will trickle into the end zone. 64-yard punt, Cole.
You know, Jordan, I talked to Joe Milton's private quarterback coach, Donovan Dooley, earlier this week and talked about just what you mentioned, only having a fastball. I read an article where he stated that one thing they worked on in the offseason was finding other pitches, becoming a quarterback that could have more than one pitch, just being that elite fastball. And I thought they were going to talk about mechanics. I thought he was going to tell me about slowing his arm down or how to generate it out of your hips and different things like that. The main thing he said they focused on was timing, anticipation, and he said sometimes throwing the football earlier, because obviously you think about a route coming across the middle of the field. If you throw it earlier and you throw it as hard as you normally would, it's just going to go right past the receiver that's not there yet. Just some interesting philosophies and tendencies that Coach Donovan Daly worked on with Joe Milton in the offseason, Jordan.
And here's the thing, you're absolutely right. Anticipation plays into taking velocity off the football, but I'll tell you what, pretty hard to do your first game starting. Right, I mean, everything changes at game speed, so he's just continuing to build the chemistry with these receivers, and the ability to anticipate where they're going to be will continue to grow as well.
So he's got to adjust his game in that respect. He also had to learn this offense and a lot of the responsibility of this offense without a spring. Josh Heupel said, listen, this guy was in here more than we were. I'd be leaving at 10 o'clock at night. He's still in there breaking things down, and a lot of memorization with this offense. It's easy to understand how you can learn an offense, but how do you learn to adjust your arm to find touch?
Well, it's reps, right? So, I mean, the first thing Milton's doing when he gets on campus is, like you said, memorizing. Just making sure I know what the play is going to be. And then once you know that, like the back of your hand, now you can start to improvise, anticipate. That's when the touch throws and the chemistry with receivers comes into play. So it's a work in progress. We'll see it develop. We'll see it get better.
McDonald going deep down the sideline, and a nice catch by Austin Osborne. They've done that a time or two before on Bob Johnson's Mission Viejo team years ago.
Just a little switch route here by Osborne on the inside. He goes and fakes like he's going to stock block, fakes like he's going to run that screen. That's what allows him to separate from Theo Jackson there and pick up a gain for Bowling Green.
Midway through the second quarter, Osborne already 5 catches in this game for Bowling Green.
Big drive here, right? I mean, got points on the board last time with a field goal, even though I was arguing against it.
I know where you're coming from.
We had a chance to get some real positive energy and some hope here for Bowling Green on this drive.
Nice little route for Henderson, and another first down after a pickup of 12. Pardon me, Kroom with the grab that time. McDonald has hit on 8 of his last 9 pass attempts. Stewart finds the edge and stays on his feet after all of that. Falcons finding some rhythm.
You know what? They're looking to the sideline. They're changing the play after Tennessee gets set more frequently than they were earlier in the game. They're seeing some looks that they like, and they're attacking them.
How about that? Lined up at the line of scrimmage, and then you go back to huddle up before you come back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, go milk that play clock, right? And you got 20 plus on it. Hold up. Let's slow this down.
That's the only snap they've taken this drive where they didn't let the play clock go within 5.
You know why? Trying to catch him off guard, right? Get under center there. Overload one line, one side of the ball, and then hand it off quick. Trying to catch Tennessee off guard.
That's a spot right there where Bowling Green is missing Trayvon Raymore in the backfield. 5'10", 240. Had a successful season last year. Big physical running back that's out for the year with an injury.
Well, they've gotten Austin, both Big Ten Offensive Lineman of the Year on Lloyd Carr's staff for a national championship season. McDonald finds his guy Osborne again. 6th catch for the Washington transfer.
And they're doing a great job of finding different ways to get him the ball, moving him around from slot to outside. Here you see him coming all the way across the line of scrimmage on a jet sweep. Fake the run, get everything flowing, get all eyes in the backfield, and leak Osborne out behind him. Masterful drive here by Bowling Green.
So 2nd and 2 now. And that'll be a first down for the Falcons.
Tell you what, we met with head coach Scott Loeffler, and he said, I'm giving up play calling for the first time in 10 years. It's been tough. I tell you what, he sure looks like he's calling plays.
He does.
I mean, look at this. He does not look like he has taken a hands-off approach to this offense as he made it seem like it was last night. Maybe he took the reins the last couple drives. I don't know, but something's working over there.
Could you, though? I mean, that'd be like us going to dinner and Tom not getting his hands on the wine list.
That's a good point.
Can't change the stripes on a tiger, huh? McDonald, crossing route. This guy Osborne again. I guess one way, Jordan, you want to make a quarterback better, bring in his favorite receiver.
Yeah, bring in a guy that he's thrown a football to for the last 6, 7, 8 years, right? I mean, there's definite chemistry there. And like I said, when you have a go-to guy, the next thing is disguising where he is pre-snap, moving him around, and finding creative ways to get him the ball. And they've done that. The last 2 drives, he's been all over the field. And Tennessee trying to play catch-up right now.
Line change up front. Tennessee loves its depth on the defensive line, so they're bringing a bunch of new guys.
I'd be surprised if they start manning up.
Looks like it here. Well, the 1 safety high. 2nd and 9. Looking for some sweep action, and nothing doing for Jalen Embry. Trayvon Flowers, Aaron Beasley got to him.
This is a busted play here. You're going to see McDonald, the quarterback, go out for a pass. I'm not so sure someone wasn't supposed to come back, a reverse pass there, or something was off on that play. Watch the quarterback. He's going like he's expecting to get the ball back. I don't know if 89 was supposed to come back the other way and throw it. Confusion there for Bowling Green, and now 3rd and long. Here's where Tennessee has got to get a pass rush. Something they're going to need this season. Something they need right now to get after the quarterback. Watch the edges for Bowling Green.
Didn't get the play off. Well, we got movement. Take your pick.
Offense, number 52, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Jeremiah Banks-Wall, the left tackle with the play clock, had just hit 00.
Oh yeah, little flinch there. I don't think they were going to snap the ball anyway.
Knew Jaquan Blakely was getting ready to come. Third and 16.
All right, so let's find Osborne here. Let's find 18. He's coming to the bottom of your screen. Going to be the inside guy on this trio stack to the bottom of your screen.
Bowling Green has to burn a timeout.
Oh, man.
2:07 left in the first half. Falcons looking to score on their 2nd consecutive possession. Chance Bowling Green has tonight control the clock. They've done that in a big way in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, 2 great drives. The field goal drive, 11 plays, 10 plays on this drive. Want to keep a high-powered offense from scoring? Don't let them get on the field.
Big 3rd down and long.
Osborne down here in the slot. In man-to-man coverage on Bowling Green. Quarterback Matt McDonald, that's where I'm looking.
He's got Theo Jackson on top of him.
Looks like they're going to drop back in a little zone.
Game up front, they get him. Big time sack by Tyler Barron.
This is what Tennessee needs. Get pressure on the quarterback off the edges. Tyler Barron, the 6'5", 260-pound sophomore. Working on right tackle Jordan Murphy. As I mentioned, Jordan Murphy only playing offense since 4 weeks ago. It's a tough matchup. Barron does a great, that's just a bull rush. That's just, I mean, he just wanted it more. That's just, hey, I'm going to move you. I'm going to get to the quarterback. Not going to do anything about it.
Needham has already made a 42-yarder. Here's a 50-yard attempt. And that is good from deep. Nate Needham is able to cash in with a career-long 50-yard field goal. Bowling Green has scored on consecutive drives. Needham's got all 6 for the Falcons, and he's fired up. .16 to go in the first half here at Neyland Stadium. After a quick start for the Volunteers, their offense has been stymied lately, and Bowling Green has dominated time of possession. The 2 scoring drives each lasting 11 plays. Nearly 13 minutes on those 2 scoring drives and +8 time of possession overall. Short kickoff handled by one of the up men for Tennessee. The Volunteers will turn this into a nifty return and great field position with about a minute to go. Lyneth Whitehead with the return. How about the difference first quarter, second quarter for Milton?
Well, it's pretty tough when you don't get on the field, right? I mean, Tennessee's about to run their 4th play of this quarter. The 3 and out, and then Bowling Green just control the clock, as you mentioned. So got to get him back in rhythm. Sometimes you sit on the bench for a while, get a quick throw, get back in rhythm. Start out hot. They've cooled off since then, but they'll get the kick, the ball after half. So see if they can double up here with 1:10 left.
Cooper Mays back in the game at center, was injured earlier in the game. That one incomplete. Fired it into Princeton Fant. 5th-year senior from Nashville couldn't squeeze it.
Yeah, Tom, Cooper Mays went into the tent, had the ankle retaped, heavy retape, and I saw him talking to offensive line coach Glenn Ellerby after that. And Ellerby telling him, work it a little bit, see if you can go. We'll give you another shot.
Tennessee looking to regain momentum in this game after a couple of Falcon field goals.
They got plenty of time. They still have all 3 of their timeouts, so need to have a sense of urgency. But even though there's 50 seconds left, still plenty of time.
Need to convert a 3rd down on this 3rd and 5. Milton pressured, and they take him down behind the line of scrimmage. Walter Hare, the senior from Indianapolis, 24 years old, and that's an old man sack.
It's just a long time to hold the football, so he had to move the pocket and then trying to keep his eyes downfield. But Bowling Green did a really good job. Defensive line continuing to fight, get after the quarterback, and Tennessee's going to take this one all the way down.
So if you're Josh Heupel, how do you feel about this first half overall after the great start and then not even having the ball hardly in the second quarter?
Yeah, just mental mistakes, right? Guys got to get open. Blocks have been missed. Got a lot to learn from. First quarter was great, but got to be consistent in this offense to do what they do best, which is tempo and put up points.
Tennessee uses a timeout with a second left. We are 1 second away from halftime. It's the return of the pride of the Southland Marching Band here in Knoxville coming up at the half. You can watch that live performance on SEC Network Plus. Start streaming now on the ESPN app.
Did you ever play an instrument?
A trombone.
You would.
Yeah.
Big trombone guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Where are my people?
I was more of a nose flute kind of guy. You know, compact. I could take it out. Good party trick.
You still got a little whistle coming out of those.
Take it on a date. You know, just that's a great way to end a date.
Sure
Bust
is.
out a nose. Excuse me. What?
Never mind. Milton's got the arm strength, obviously, to make something happen here with only a second left.
Yeah, a little jump ball. The problem is, can you protect him long enough to let those guys run 55 yards down to the end zone? Now Bowling Green's going to
Bowling Green had 12 men on the field coming out of the timeout.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah, see if it pays
when they're
off.
trying to score, might as well see if we can throw an extra guy out there.
Joe Milton III out of Pahokee, Florida, played his high school ball in Orlando before going to Michigan.
Yeah, looked really efficient early on. Did a great job pushing the ball to the perimeter. You can see the arm talent, the mobility that's going to really change the dynamic of what Josh Heupel's offense and scheme is able to do here in the SEC. Just hasn't had an opportunity this quarter to do much of anything.
Bowling Green trails in this game, but they have run everything they've wanted to perfection in the sense that they know that their best defense is keeping Milton off the field and dominating time of possession in the second. Bowling Green's got 12 again. Not sure there's a flag coming. It'll be a free play for Tennessee. And Milton will let that one go incomplete. They have 12 men on the field twice, back-to-back plays.
Well, you know, probably like, hey, they'll never think we're going to do it again. Like, yeah, hey, our bad, sorry, 12 guys. Yeah, of course, you know, they'll be like, hey, they'll never think. Just send them out there again. Do it again. Didn't work.
Illegal substitution, defense, 12 players on the field, 5-yard penalty, replay 4th down.
I played in Canada, and they did have 12 people on each side.
That was legal.
That changes things. I tell you what, you could run before the snap, 12 guys. I mean, I was just, what am I doing?
You didn't marry well to the CFL?
No. I mean, I loved Vancouver, Canada, but the 12 guys thing and the footballs with the stripes all the way around, I was like, you know what, I'm going to come do some TV stuff because I kind of suck at football right now.
They got 11 now. Milton with a 3-man rush has plenty of time. They're looking to the corner.
That's pretty.
Opportunity, and it falls incomplete.
Cedric Tillman almost had a shot there.
A 14-6 lead for Tennessee. Josh Heupel, after 3 years at UCF, 12-1 his first year And a great start to this offense, but they stymied after going 3 and out on their 3rd possession and couldn't get it going again. Great Bill Martin directs them to Cole Cubelic. Cole.
Coach Heupel, offense off to a great start. Why did it slow down in the second quarter?
Just a couple execution things that we weren't on the same page. A little bit of throw and catch, a couple combinations in our run game. We got to clean it up and get back to executing.
Defensively, are you pleased with the performance thus far?
A lot of really good things. I didn't think we handled their boot game very well in the second quarter there. We got to do a better job of handling that.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, appreciate it.
And so for the first time this season, let's get to the studio. Dari Doring-Chiz and the rookie Benjamin Waston looking fantastic tonight. Dari, it's all yours.
It's been a little while.
1 half in the books. Tennessee led this game 14-0. Bowling Green scoring on consecutive possessions. Couple of field goals for the Falcons, and they have slowed down this Tennessee offense by keeping it off the field. And that's the key here. Tom Hart alongside Jordan Rodgers, Cole Cubelic down on the field. Pretty simple as that after Joe Milton got off to a really good start in this one.
Yeah, he was very efficient early with the short passing game, but they got to get some chunk plays. Just the one big explosive play through the air. Jalen Hyatt making someone miss down the sidelines. But other than that, nothing over 10 yards. Only longest run was 12 yards. They got to get chunk plays, push the ball downfield. I think they were trying to. Just nothing open downfield, or Milton wasn't seeing it.
Bowling Green has run their blueprint to perfection. A couple of 11-play scoring drives. Even though they ended only with field goals, they kept the ball away from Tennessee. First quarter, only 22 yards for the Falcons. Tennessee with their 2 touchdowns. Second quarter, they flipped the script.
That's the recipe, right? Got an offense that wants to put up points and go fast. Don't let them get on the field. But Bowling Green did a great job in the second quarter of varying the ways they get their playmaker the football. Osborne on the outside had a big second quarter, and McDonald got his stride going as well.
Ready to go in the third quarter. And Velus Jones wants to bring it out. Jones ran into his own guy, bounces it outside the far hash, and up the sideline a little bit. Cole Cubelic caught up with Bowling Green head coach Scott Loeffler. What'd you learn?
Well, I asked Coach why they had more success later in that first half, and he said, you check, we check. Jordan, you called it out there in the broadcast, basically saying that we're going to wait for Tennessee to make their check, and then we're going to check again to get into what we like. Said they couldn't hold up against cover one, obviously more guys in the box, so he's going to call more man beaters. I asked him if the gap scheme run game was the reason that they had more success on the ground. He said absolutely expect more pin and pull in the second half from us offensively.
Quickly, give me an example of a man beater for Bowling Green.
Oh, those crossing routes. We saw a couple times them trying to get guys crossing. The pick route that Johnson, the running back, got open on the outside as well.
Jabari Small had a good first quarter. Scored on their second possession, and he's got a 7-yard gain.
All right, got to see that ball get pushed downfield.
Back-to-back runs and a first down for Tennessee. Small takes it in Bowling Green territory with a 17-yard rip.
Yeah, it's a great sign there, though. Second longest play of the night.
What are we doing, Hart?
Green, and there is
his arm stuck underneath Small?
I'm not sure. Helmet stuck together?
Oh, their face masks might be stuck together.
His helmet stuck to something there. Back plate? Oh, boy. All right, guys, the newest event in the Olympics we have is Can You Separate? I mean, I've seen face mask to face mask, but how does this? Oh, look at that! It hooked on the back plate of Jabari Small somehow. No idea what happened there, but all right, they're separated, and gold medal for both.
Well, he'd be good at Tetris. Back to the running game, and a pickup of 5 now for Jabari Small. People think of the Josh Heupel offense, they think pass, 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 spreading the field. Where does the run game come in?
Well, you see the splits. Look at the splits at the top of the screen there. You couldn't even see the slot defender, wide receiver. They spread the field wide, and when the defense matches that, it vacates the box, and that's when the run game is there. So watch the splits by Tennessee. You're going to see those receivers extremely wide, and if Bowling Green widens with them, the run game is there.
Now 3rd and 2. And another first down run by Jabari Small. Picks up 7.
He's got some juice, huh? Making guys miss. 5'11", 206 pounds, got enough weight behind him and low pad level to run you over as well.
Personal foul, targeting number 7, defense. The previous play is under further review.
This is Davon Ferguson, who transferred to Bowling Green from Kansas. Started each of the last 4 games for Les Miles' squad last year.
All right, 2 things need to occur. Needs to be an indicator, right? So launching at a defender, lowering the crown of the helmet, making contact. And if there is an indicator, which I do believe there is, I think the crown of his helmet is down. Is there forcible contact to the head or neck area? I don't see it there.
No, I
think that ends more in the rib region or towards the hip. So yes, there's an indicator, but not forcible contact to the head or neck area of that rusher. See, his leg kind of hit him there. So good call to throw the flag, because you definitely see a defender drop his helmet. It's what they're trying to get out of the sport. I don't think the contact there is going to warrant this standing up.
I think Ferguson, by the way, lowered the helmet because he lost his balance.
Yeah,
he was totally kind of out of balance coming
falling. Totally.
Ferguson is one of those 7 Power 5 transfers they have. We'll take another look at this one. They have another transfer in the defensive backfield. Devin Taylor transferred in from Virginia Tech. He transferred in 7 days ago.
That's unbelievable.
He just showed up, and now he's starting as a cornerback after leaving the Hokies in the offseason.
Neyland Stadium going from a free agent to, hey, starting 7 days later.
After further review, there is no targeting on the play.
We were talking with Scott Loeffler and the Bowling Green coaching staff about guys like Taylor and Ferguson, and they said, listen, the transfer portal has been an absolute mess. There are 1,000 kids still sitting there without a place to play. That's where we come in. They're getting a lot of guys. They got a lot of guys late in the summer who realized that the music was about to stop. They're going to be left without a team.
Well, that was Devon Ferguson, the guy right there that reviewed the penalty, the DB. He sat in the transfer portal forever.
Evans into the game at running back after Small took himself off, and he finds 21.
And Tennessee really finding their rhythm with this zone play. Kicking it outside. We saw Jamari Small hit it a few times. This time, Tylan Evans with a big gain.
Back to Evans. Evans with a first down. 1st and goal, Tennessee.
Again, that's why it's tough with the splits. The support for the outside run is the nickelback that's on that receiver way out by the numbers.
Spread him thin again, and Milton with the shove down and a walk-in. He put Jordan Anderson into the grass, and Joe Milton has his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night.
Just the same play they ran on Milton's first touchdown. It's a simple zone. This one, it's a little gray, right? The quarterback wants to keep it. If that end crashes down, there's a guy sitting there, but Milton goes, you know what? I'm a better athlete. And yeah, he was.
He is. Chase McGrath, the point after. This high-octane Josh Heupel offense has done so much damage through the air over the years at his previous stops. Every play on the opening drive of the second half, a running play. First it was Small, then Evans, and finally Joe Milton with a Michigan degree in his back pocket has his 2nd Tennessee touchdown. Oh, sweet child of mine. Tennessee turned to the running game on that last possession.
It's a thing. We're talking about getting chunk plays through the air, but the splits and the width of this Josh Heupel attack meant there was no edge support for the run game, and Tennessee took advantage of it.
Ball scored on their opening drive of the game. They scored on their opening drive of the second half. Tarian Stewart will not bring it out. Take a look at all those runs for Tennessee last time.
And Cole pointed out from the sideline, using that tight end, a lot of split zone looks. See the tight end going one way, zone going the opposite ways. You get those linebackers looking the wrong direction, and like I mentioned after that, there's no outside support because of the width. And then this is the dangerous aspect of Kendall Milton and this offense that Heupel hasn't had in a long time, maybe ever. or at least for a while,
yeah,
is that quarterback that can hurt you with his legs.
And he's had some fantastic quarterbacks in his day. There was a flag on that kickoff. There was no return for Bowling Green, and this SEC crew going over the details. We denied the water. How about that? We got official stuff going on. By the way, speaking of official,
holding receiving team. At the distance of the goal from the spot of the foul. First down.
Great to see Commissioner Greg Sankey and his wife Kathy before the game today. He's got a busy weekend ahead, traveling throughout the conference, being back on the road. He's so excited to be able to visit student athletes in this conference, visit stadiums, not just football. He's going to Kentucky for volleyball. He's going to Georgia for soccer. And I think he'll also take in that Clemson-Georgia game in Charlotte.
Yeah, there's a couple big games for the SEC, right? Alabama, Miami, I think it's going to be a surprising one, honestly. I mean, Alabama, yeah, they got a ton of talent, but they lost a lot. I mean, yes, they will be back to form, but week one, De'Aaron King, his athleticism, 6th year for him. He's played a lot of football.
So you're on the other end of the spectrum that Cole is. I think you guys should
just probably, saying, it could be interesting.
Bet a rattlesnake relleno on this thing. Matt McDonald has taken every snap for Bowling Green. That slant batted and incomplete. Tyler Barron put it up in the air. Blakely couldn't get it before it hit the ground. Renewed energy with a push up front for Tennessee this half.
That's a great job at half. Tim Banks, the defensive coordinator, probably said, look, this quick game, as soon as you see that quarterback stop your pass rush and get your hands up, which is exactly what Tyler Barron did on the outside there. Great job. You see his eyes go right to the quarterback, puts his hands up immediately.
And now 2nd and 10. Volunteers looking for push again. They get into the backfield and stop Teron Keith. No loss of 2. All right, 3rd down. And in front of the student section. Four-man rush. A little bit low, but hauled in for a gain of 4 to Levi Gazarick. And that'll bring out the punt team for Bowling Green. This is a momentum stop for Tennessee and an opportunity to start putting some points on the board.
That's huge. I mean, this is where Tennessee's got to start to separate themselves, right? They are the more talented team. They got to start showing it. Momentum is a big thing right there. A big stop by the defense, who struggled in that 2nd quarter to slow down Bowling Green, and this is not a friendly area to punt from.
Naranjo gets it away. Trayvon Flowers will let it bounce. Tennessee's going to have excellent field position. 38-yard punt. Well, here's what they're saying about the Josh Heupel hire. Herbie said he's going to bring an ability to put a lot of points on the board. Fans are going to love his style here on Rocky Top. We wanted to get a Doring quote in. Most important thing, Tennessee was looking for an offensive-minded head coach. And a lot of times when you get a new coach hire, it swings the pendulum back opposite of the guy before. And the defense was Jeremy Pruitt's forte. Chris Lowe knows all about this Tennessee program. He was a great quarterback, Heupel, in his day at Oklahoma. Milton going deep. Incomplete. Cedric Tillman.
Oh, and this is one that Joe Milton's going to want back. He holds this ball a little bit longer then you might get this ball up earlier and with more air. I mentioned how talented his arm is. He can throw that on a rope, but the lower the trajectory, the less time your receiver has to adjust. And him and Tillman have been just off a few times on those deep shots.
On 2nd and 10, Jabari Small picks up a pair. They'll leave 3rd and 8 now.
Jordan, you and I both noticed that on film, and you talked about how flat he throws his deep ball. How do you change that? How is that coached out of a guy?
Well, you just something you got to rep. You got to be comfortable with. And really, the first thing you got to do is realize an underthrow when you got a 6'2", 6'3" receiver is not the worst thing in the world. Give him a chance.
And they will whistle the play dead. Tennessee will pick up a free 5. And that'll change playbook options here. Cooper Mays is out of the game for the time being. Jerome Carvin is at center, and Ali Lane has replaced Carvin at left guard. Remember, Mays suffered a leg injury in the first half, came back, but he's now over on the sideline.
False start. Offense, number 11. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Jalen Hyatt jumped. Hyatt on the perimeter, and the Bowling Green guys after Hyatt had moved. So 3rd and 13. Tennessee has 3 receivers outside the numbers. To the sideline. And incomplete, trying to find Javonte Payton.
Look, the overthrow, the deep shot, the missing out a couple times, it's going to happen, right? I mean, I can't stress enough that you may feel like you have chemistry with a receiver throwing in practice, and speed is one thing. Game speed is completely different. The way guys run routes, the timing is just different. So game reps are so important to build chemistry. You may think you have it, but when you've never actually done it, when the lights are on, it's a completely different thing. So they'll get it fixed. They'll get it figured out, but definitely some kinks to work out there in the deep ball area for Milton and these receivers.
Paxton Brooks punts it away. Fair catch taken by Riley Keller after a 40-yard punt. Joe Milton got Tennessee on the board through the running game. The passing game has been missing its mark. redcross.org/ESPN. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kublik. Neyland Stadium and Shields Watkins Field celebrating its 100th anniversary this year. Here's some SEC news and notes. 4 head coaches making their SEC debut this season. Heupel here. Shane Beamer's got a former GA playing quarterback for him. Brian Harsin at Auburn and Clark Lee at Vanderbilt. LSU flying out west. Right now they're watching our game on the team plane out to take on UCLA.
That's going to be an interesting one. Chip Kelly and UCLA got a game under their belt. That run game is going, but there's not a quarterback that has more pressure or ever had more pressure on him than Bryce Young, I believe.
Ever.
Already enough pressure being the Alabama quarterback. How about with $1 million in your pocket before you've ever even attempted a pass?
I'll add to it. And the previous 3 starters, well, they're all starting in the NFL this next week.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure, some big shoes to fill. He's a good player, though. He's going to develop into the next one, I think.
High snap, and they're going with the jet sweep. This is Embry, who's taken down for a loss of 1. Jeremy Banks with the stop.
Great job by Banks here. Getting sideline to sideline. Tennessee has condensed this. Notice they're playing a lot closer to the line of scrimmage, getting in the face of these receivers a little bit more than they were a few drives ago.
It was the first time we would have seen Osborne on the jet sweep.
Before the snap, false start, 4, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Running back Terrion Stewart move.
almost kind of forced the hand of the Tennessee defense too. You saw Theo Jackson from his safety spot flashing down to the jet motion. So one adjustment there to watch from defensive coordinator Tim Banks moving forward.
Bowling Green has rushed for just 4 yards tonight. This is now 2nd and 16. That number held back by a pair of Tennessee sacks. Four-man rush. McDonald trying to escape on the run off the hands of Theo Jackson, who has found a role in this Tennessee defense at the star position.
Jackson at the snap did a great job of getting in front of this crosser and then just mirroring the quarterback, right? That quarterback gets outside the pocket, mirror him, get eyes on him, and nearly came up with one.
They need to make it to the Fountain City Duck Pond for a first down here.
Is that far?
It's pretty far. Swing by Litton's, get a burger. It's worth the trip. Play clock at 1. Went to 0. No flag. And no flag on a pass interference. Suffocating coverage after Tremblay came in and delivered a hit on McDonald to dirty the jersey.
That great pressure there. Roman Harrison on the other side provided pressure, but Tremblay gets an inside move here on the left tackle, Jeremiah Bankswall. Like I said, Tennessee, it's a little contact there, but Tennessee's been playing more aggressive on the outside. After those couple long drives by Bowling Green, Tennessee said, okay, we're going to get in your face. We're going to play at the line of scrimmage, not make it easy on you.
Matt Naranjo, the punter, was the Campbell Trophy semifinalist last year. The academic Heisman. That one will roll to a stop. 51-yard punt. Well, Milton has been on and off. He has started each half fantastic and then slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, he was efficient early on, some quick throws to get him in rhythm, obviously using his legs. But since that first quarter, just 1 of 5 for 5 yards. So Josh Heupel, Alex Golesh got to find a way to get their quarterback back in rhythm. All right, there's a handful of plays you go into each week saying, hey, these are our, get him comfortable again.
Yeah.
Quick throws, screens, something like that, because right now he's just not seeing it the same as he was in the first quarter.
Great meeting with Alex Golesh, the offensive coordinator for Tennessee this season, and he was talking about offering the menu to Milton. He said, we don't need 100 different plays.
No.
We might run 100 plays, but we might only run 8 different plays during the course of a game. So let's find the ones that he loves, absolutely loves, and let's limit the menu. You don't need a Cheesecake Factory menu out there when all you want is a steak.
No, one thing I loved, he said they meet late every week and go through the whole menu of plays and say, hey, is there any that you don't like or you even just are a little hesitant about? Great, let's throw them out.
Yeah.
Right? Your primary goal as a play caller is make sure every play your quarterback knows, loves, is comfortable with, and confident that he can execute.
Evans picks up 8. Chip Kelly didn't run a whole lot of plays last week, did he? Against Hawaii?
Didn't need to.
Yeah, I mean, just stick with your bread and butter.
He made it look like a lot of different plays.
Back to the running game on 3rd down, and a first down picked up by Tyon Evans.
It's a big first down. Here comes that tempo. Bowling Green, late substitution.
Milton. There's a flag, pass interference, trying to find Tillman. Side Dabney disrupted him.
Pass interference, defense number 5, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
And Tillman actually wanted to run a post here, and then the safety started squeezing him up the field. Obvious contact. I mean, just look at the flick. I mean, he barely. It looks like he's just playing catch from 10 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, when he starts to figure out the touch and the chemistry, it's going to be dangerous.
Straight ahead, Evans. First down. Touchdown, Tennessee. Quickest scoring drive of the night for the Volunteers. Chase McGrath punches it through. Smokey loves it. Tennessee fans love it. It's the ground game that has paid off for the Vols tonight.
I know Joe Milton would like to make some fireworks happen through the air, but when the ground game is going, that's a quarterback's best friend, and lean into it. Tyon Evans with a big touchdown run. Get the Vols headed in the right direction.
In the first quarter, a pair in the third. Not quite midway through the third quarter. And the Vols have opened up a 22-point advantage. You know what I'm really excited about?
What?
Your first illustration.
This thing's been broken all half, so I've been waiting,
Hey,
baby.
Great artist never blames the tools.
No. I'm coming at you, though.
By the way, odds are you're the one that broke it.
I might have. Yeah. I don't know. I like to doodle before the game. I don't know. I just stopped working.
A little old for you, but we're going to go picture pages as this fair catch is taken in the end zone. What are you gonna show
Well,
us?
tight ends have been huge in the run game. The split zone has been going like this. Well, this time a great adjustment by Heupel. Not split zone, but he climbs right on that Mike linebacker. The tight end Princeton Fant does. That's the wrinkle that Bowling Green wasn't expecting. You see one thing: split zone, split zone, split zone, and bam, an adjustment breaks for a big touchdown. How about that, Tom Hart?
That was fantastic drawing.
God, I love just drawing on TV. It's my favorite.
You missed it.
I'm dangerous with the pen.
So,
I'm going to start doing this all the time now. I'm not going to let you talk.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm a visual learner like a lot of people. You didn't do much drawing from your basement last year.
No, I couldn't.
Scott Leffler is going to use a timeout here for the first play of this drive.
Timeout, Bowling Green, the first of the half. 30-second timeout.
Well, we got a busy day of football on Saturday. Kentucky will debut a new quarterback, and the Wildcats get UL Monroe at noon. Rice and Arkansas on ESPN Plus, SEC Network Plus. Jim McElwain had his appendix taken out this week. He was supposed to be coaching Central Michigan on their trip to Missouri, where Elijah Drinkwitz and the Tigers look to regain the momentum. Every game available on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. One app, one tap. You guys will be in Gainesville with Roy Philpott for FAU and Florida. What do you expect now that you've been prepping for the Gators this year?
I'm just interested to see this offense with no Kadarius Toney, no Kyle Pitts, a new quarterback in Emory Jones. In this day and age where if you don't start, you don't play right away, you transfer.
Yeah.
Emory set. He was patient, and he's waited for his time, which is now.
Can't wait to see what he can do running Dan Mullen's offense. A little floater over the middle, incomplete, trying to find the tight end that time. Kevon Kroom. Bowling Green, I mentioned this in the first half, kind of a throwback offense in that Scott Leffler wants to run a lot of two tight end, 12 personnel as often as possible. He feels like that can be an advantage for him because folks don't see that anymore.
Yeah, and just the way their personnel is right now with Christian Sims, a tight end, out, Andrew Bench moved from defensive end to tight end this spring. So they're doing a little bit more 11 personnel. We're seeing a little more spread than we're used to seeing out of Bowling Green, which I think has helped their quick game out, actually.
And speaking of tight ends, right on cue, Gazarek is able to take that for a first down. Cole, how does this Bowling Green team look different in the first 3 quarters tonight than what you saw when you called one of their games last year?
Well, I think first and foremost, patience and having some confidence in what you're trying to get to, the adjustments. And I agree with what Jordan said earlier about Matt McDonald. He does have a little bit more zip on the football, able to do a little bit more. And that offensive line is getting some help from the play calling. I think the gap scheme runs, and then the check with me, some slide protection, getting some help from the tight ends, all give them a bit of an advantage.
McDonald, wow, snagged with one hand for gain of 2 by Jaden McKinstry. Scott Leffler told us, I'm not calling plays this year. It's really hard for me to give up. And now he's walking away from the offense, but he certainly has his fingerprints all over what they're doing offensively.
I think there was a few drives he was straight up calling it.
Yeah.
I think maybe now he's having some input. Tough to just completely cold turkey stop, right? He's been doing it for 10 years. It's what he loves. It's the world he knows. So can never really turn it off right away. And you can tell he's all over what's going on every play.
He's been buried in that call sheet over there.
Yes, I mean, just wearing it out.
Bowling Green had a late sub with their slot receiver, but Tennessee thinks that they had 12 men before that.
Are we going to set a record here for amount of flags for 12 men on the field?
We could.
I wonder what the record is for that.
Maybe it happened during Dooley's tenure.
It's possible.
Back-to-back 12 men on the field? I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Yeah, it's
Dead ball, substitution infraction. Offense number 80. He left the game and came back. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
No pass outs in the SEC.
I don't think I've seen a hold on a touchback either. A lot of first tonight.
Yeah, that was different. 2nd and 13.
empty set here. Expect the ball to get out of McDonald's hand quickly.
Tennessee drops 8. McDonald finds some room on the sideline. And Kroom quickly swarmed, but he picks up 9.
Third down, the go-to guy for McDonald has been number 18, Austin Osborne. Right there.
Good job.
He's going to have man coverage.
Looks for him, and he fits it in. A bullet to Gazarick, and a gain of 7. There's some arm strength you didn't see last year from McDonald.
No, really didn't. You can tell his shoulder is healthy. It's a great read. Right at the tight end, and I mean, that's ball location beats great coverage every single time. Aaron Beasley was all over it, but the velocity and the location, let's make that a completion to Gazarick.
Efficient night for McDonald, 20 of 29. But Bowling Green has been held to a pair of field goals. And once again able to swing it out to a tight end, McKinstry.
Haven't seen Tennessee dial up much pressure at all.
Right. They did on Bowling Green's first possession of this half when the Falcons were backed up inside the 10. They'll drop 8 again. And a big hit. Alontae Taylor on Austin Osborne.
Dangerous throw into zone coverage. It's a long throw. Balls in the air for a long time. Alontae Taylor saw that going his direction the entire way.
Bowling Green's converted a pair of third downs on this drive. McDonald has completed 6 consecutive passes. Timeout taken by Tennessee. They had some guys
Timeout.
out of position.
Tennessee. Their first of the half. 30 seconds timeout.
And Bowling Green will be looking at a 3rd and 2 coming out of this timeout. Hey, I found out a way to make your nation weekends even more fun. We're going to send Marty and McGee on the road all season long, same site.
Love it.
All right, let's start this weekend, 9 a.m. in Atlanta, College Football Hall of Fame to kick off the season. Marty McGee start at 9, followed by SEC Nation right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app.
Those guys have zero fun.
No. I understand that they packed a turkey fryer to go on the road this year.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but not for you. Just
Why not?
Just in the morning.
What? So I don't get it?
No, you don't get any. What do we expect? By the way, Chris Lowe has a great story on Lane Kiffin coming out soon. What do we expect from Lane Kiffin's offense Monday night against Louisville with Matt Corral?
Well, Matt Corral's the best quarterback in the SEC right now. He's one of the top in the entire country, maybe behind Spencer Rattler and Braylon Sanders. Got to keep your eye on. No Elijah Moore, no Kenny Yeboah.
I formation loaded up. Need 2. Got none. Big stop for Tennessee's defense.
Matthew Butler in there, the thick of it.
They'll keep the offense on the field here, 4th and short. Originally, McDonald wanted to throw it on 3rd and short. They came out of timeout, loaded up, ran it. They're going to throw it here?
Yeah, I expect they're going to get McDonald on the run, possibly. Get him outside the pocket, get him moving. Going to bring this tight end in motion here at the bottom. No.
Over the middle, ball wobbled, intercepted. Flag on the play, picked up by Jalen McCullough. That ball was wobbling because it was tipped coming out of McDonald's hands.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
But if that ball was batted, let's see here. Just by the way the ball is spinning, it sure looks like it hit Omari Thomas. Man, that ball got tipped. I think Tennessee fans agree with me.
They do. They're on your side.
The previous play is under further review.
And that's what Heupel was waiting on and working on the field judge. So when they review this, they'll see the change of rotation between when it came out of McDonald's hands when it got past the line of scrimmage.
See Omari Thomas, I think his right hand, the thumb of his right hand, I believe, gets on it. And you can tell by the spin of the ball. Didn't come out that wobbly. It's really hard to see right here. Maybe it hit his left thumb. I think it hit one of those thumbs going through his hands there.
They can review a couple things here. They can review whether or not it was tipped. They can also review whether or not McCullough actually intercepted it. Tennessee would have better field position if they rule it incomplete.
Yeah, it looked like it hit the ground. See the pass interference they're talking about here. Just a hold right there. Got his arms up around the shoulders.
After the ball was tipped.
Yeah, I'm saying if it wasn't tipped, definitely pass interference. But since it was, it shouldn't be. And I don't think he caught that interception. So they're going to move that ball.
They got a lot to work through here.
Yeah.
So a lot to look at, and let's hear from Matt Austin now, our rules official. Matt, just walk us through the process now of how the replay booth is going to look at this and judge whether or not the ball was tipped, and then if and how quickly they would review whether or not it was cleanly intercepted.
Yeah. Well, Tom and Jordan, you guys both nailed it. Yes, they are the catch, and it looks like it definitely hit the ground, so it's incomplete. And also the pass interference waved off, because I do feel that the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. At the end of the day, you're just going to have a pass.
What's the process like in the review booth when you're looking at multiple items on the same play?
Well, a lot of times that's when people start complaining about the length of views. It's because they are looking at multiple things. You do have to look at the touch.
No interception on the play. The pass was incomplete. However, the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage by the defense. Therefore, there is no pass interference on the defense. The ball will go over on downs to Tennessee at the 42.5-yard line.
We're 1 for 1. Matt, thanks so much. We should just shut it down for the year. Yeah, we got the review right. We actually got the rule right. So quit while you're ahead?
Yeah. Something I never do in Vegas, but I'm going to do right now in the booth when it comes to reviews.
Vegas, Baton Rouge, just a few different places for you. So Tennessee gets a turnover on downs. The Volunteers end up with better field position after the interception was waved off. Joe Milton going to take off on a QB draw. He'll take it past midfield. A gain of 14.
Look at the space up top. Watch the splits. I'm going to do this really quick. Look at the space right here, and that's exactly where Joe Milton ends up attacking on the run. Those defenders so wide to try to cover the slot receiver, the wide receiver. That's why those runs were hitting on the split zone, and they're going to attack it with Joe Milton in his legs as well.
Jabari Small gets a couple that time. 2nd and 8 now. Milton outside the pocket. Incomplete. Hyatt was out of bounds.
I think really they're going to go back and watch this film. This game's not over, but Milton's going to watch this film and realize I think he could have pulled the trigger on some of those in-breaking routes. Javonte Payton there on a dig route, a bender inside. I think he's had more of those than maybe he's seeing. But again, first real game, new offense. These are things you start to understand, spacing and how to see things so he doesn't miss those moving forward.
He's just 1 for his last 8. Back to the ground game. And Milton gets taken down by Davon Ferguson, a gain of 6. Defensive coordinator Eric Lewis for Bowling Green has done a good job against his Tennessee offense tonight. And they're going to go for it on 4th down, 4th and 2. Small stop short, and Bowling Green will get a turnover on downs. So Lewis, the son of longtime NFL offensive coordinator Sherman Lewis, was quality control coach here under Butch Jones his final year in 2017. He met his wife here in Knoxville. She's a volunteer. He said, I had to get him to wear Bowling Green orange this weekend. They got a lot to cheer for after this stop.
Let's see what happens here up front. A good movement, just didn't get to the second level. 2 linebackers there. Darren Anders, their all-everything tackler from last year, was right there to make the play.
Aaron Lewis in the white hat. Great visit with the Bowling Green coaches yesterday. Sherman Lewis's dad was on Bill Walsh's staff, those great 49ers teams early on. And with the Packers, also OC in Minnesota and Detroit. Dad's got 4 Super Bowl rings.
Not many guys can say that.
No, very few. 2nd and 4. Into traffic. Ohio State has come from behind to take a 10-point lead on the road at Minnesota tonight, 31-21. Bowling Green was supposed to open with the Buckeyes last year. They had Ohio State and Illinois on the schedule. Big Ten announced early on they weren't going to be playing non-conference games. Actually, it seemed like they weren't going to play at all for a while. It took nearly $2 million out of Bowling Green's budget. Make a good chunk of that back this year here in this game with 1.4 coming their way, and then at Minnesota later.
Got man coverage here. Let's see if they get some crossers going.
McDonald chased, incomplete.
Really good job by Tennessee. So the first half, Scott Leffler mentioned, hey, you check, we check, right?
Yep.
Well, Tennessee's doing a great job of disguising their coverage through that last check. Bowling Green looks to the sideline, and then Tennessee pops out of a man look into a zone look. Bowling Green check to a play they'd like to run against zone, and it doesn't, or a man, and it doesn't work. Great job of making adjustments by defensive coordinator Tim Banks to not tip their hand and allow Bowling Green to dictate this game.
He's got a lot of new guys on that side of the ball.
Yeah. A lot of guys getting their first experience in these systems all around.
Tenth flag on Bowling Green tonight. Ball's coming after it. So Tennessee trying to solidify the foundation of this program in the first year of Josh Heupel. You look at what's expected. FBI chance to win. The Pitt game is huge. That's next one up. Tennessee will open with 3 games at home. How do you view what is in front of Tennessee this year? And how do you judge success for this program?
Well, I think it's competing against the middle of the pack, right? I mean, Tennessee has been so hit or miss against teams that you feel like they should be beating. For who Tennessee is, who they've been, and where they want to go. So the South Carolinas, the Kentuckys, the Vanderbilts, the Missouris, those are really important games for Tennessee to start to see things changing and get this program headed in the right direction.
Don't sleep on that non-conference. Kenny Pickett, quarterback, 6-year starter. The only quarterback returning that is currently starting on the Tennessee schedule that has a previous win against the Volunteers, Jake Bentley at South Alabama.
Wow. That Pitt game have Johnny Major's name attached to it. Longtime coach at both Pitt and Tennessee. Clock running towards the end of the third quarter. Past the tee goes Evans with a gain of 5 and a first down. They'll get Jalen Wright in at running back. True freshman. Whoa.
Dangerous.
Got a whole line
Green's
change coming.
been trying to sub really late. Oh, he snapped the ball. Snap it. Snap it.
They're being held, allowing
yeah.
Bowling Green to complete the substitution.
Oh, yeah. Jalen Wright came in.
And Wright will find just 1. 28-6. Tennessee trying to add to its advantage. Can the Heupel offense live up to the hype with a big fourth quarter? Smokey leading the way in the Tennessee student section. That's going to go in somebody's gram.
It's the TikTok now.
Oh, the ticky-tock. Yeah. Speaking of changes, Oklahoma and Texas are coming to the SEC. Accepted invitations July 30th. The Big 12 as soon as 22 with a pretty hefty fee. Interesting to see how that affects conference scheduling and then the impact that it has on teams like Bowling Green. They're getting $1.4 million to play this game. If the SEC goes to a 9-game schedule, there's fewer non-conference opportunities. Some of these games fall off the calendar, and they got to find a way to supplement their budget. In fact, that was part of our conversation on the field with Greg Sankey before the game. Jabari Small. Cole, what was your takeaway when we got to that point of the conversation?
He feels like it's very important when you have those massive brands in your league to share them with everyone in your league, and that it pays to be able to have teams go play in other places and not have those big breaks similar to Alabama plays Tennessee every year. Yeah, it's a great game. Tennessee gets to share in that. Tennessee fans, Alabama fans get to come to Knoxville. But how much does that spread out when the other teams in the East get that opportunity? And those fans get to go to Tuscaloosa, or Alabama fans get to go visit Gainesville, either Columbia, so on and so forth.
It's very easy to see a scenario where the SEC goes to 9 games, you play 3 locked-in opponents, and then you rotate through the rest of the league every other year. There had to have been, I mean, let me phrase it this way. How appealing would that be as a player and as fans where you know every 4 years you're going to go to every stadium?
I think that's huge. I mean, I was only in the SEC for 3 years, and I didn't get to go to every stadium. I mean, I would love the fact to experience that, and I think it's going to model much after kind of the way the NFL does divisions.
Do the leagues such as the SEC or the Big Ten owe lower division, lower level programs and conferences like the MAC or the Sun Belt? Do they owe them anything to keep those payments coming and keep those games on the schedule?
To a degree, you could say it's for the betterment of the sport. So, yeah, it's the good thing to do. Teams are going to need a breather every now and then, you know, if it's a 9-game SEC schedule.
Pressure on. The ball came loose. And Bowling Green recovers. Darren Anders punched it out, and then he found it. And it's a first turnover this game to give the Falcons great field position.
Darren Anders comes off the right side, the left side of your screen, the right side of Joe Milton there, as Milton's looking left. That's a tough place to get caught as a quarterback. The ball is vulnerable there. He does feel it, tried to get away from it. But Anders, probably the most experienced player on that side of the ball, makes a big play.
Talked with Eric Lewis yesterday. He said he's excitable. He's going to make a lot of plays. Last year for Bowling Green in their 5 games, he played every snap but 20.
106 in 1 game.
Jeez. Give that kid a Snickers.
Matt McDonald finds Jalen Embiid.
I remember one time when I was at Auburn, we played Georgia. Champ Bailey played 102 plays. It was the worst thing that ever happened to us as an offensive line. Rick Trickett, our offensive line coach, came into the meeting the next day and said, Champ Bailey can run 102 plays, and you fat boys can't go out there and run 60.
We've reached the point where we're doing Rick Trickett impersonations in the broadcast. That Stinchcomb eat your heart out.
I thought that door was just always open for anything we ever did. So,
it is.
Sorry.
No, it is. It's open.
I may have cleaned it up a little bit from what it actually was.
That's appreciated.
He wasn't wrong. I mean, this is a dime right here. It's a heck of a throw by McDonald to the outside, trying to find Osborne. There's not enough room out there.
Great view from Pylon Camp. 3rd and 3. High snap. McDonald trying to run for it. And he stopped the yard short.
I think McDonald should have handed that one. I think he realized as soon as he pulled that out of the belly that he should have handed it. So he just kind of followed the running back there.
Yeah, I think the high snap just interrupted the timing of everything. They're going to go for it on 4th down. 0 for 1 on the night.
Just pop under center here and get a little QB sneak.
Terrion Stewart is running back. They're going play action on 4th and 1. Caught, but short. And Tennessee will turn them over on downs for the 2nd time. What do you think of the play call?
Don't love it.
could have gone with the element of surprise, a little quarterback sneak. You just had a few successful runs. Not sure I love getting McDonald outside the pocket there.
Tennessee will get the ball back up 22. Season opener on Rocky Top and another big stop. The Big Orange D. For Tennessee, and they get the ball back after a 4th down stop 2 minutes into the 4th quarter. Joe Milton trying to find his rhythm once again. It's been an inconsistent Tennessee debut for Milton. Running game has been fantastic for Tennessee tonight. And Tyon Evans is going to carry some guys with him for a pickup of 11. Cole, what do you think of Tennessee's offensive line play so far?
I think it's been pretty good. Obviously, you lose Cooper Mays in and out of the lineup with a little bit of what appeared to be an ankle sprain, but love the way that Cade Mays is handling right tackle. I do believe the body's a little bit different. Physically looks more like a tackle. Javonte Sprague against 76 right guard, really fun to watch. Big finisher. Going back this offseason, Tom, I watched more Darnell Wright, who's been at left tackle the majority of the night for Tennessee. I thought he played better than even I gave him credit for last season. And if this group continues to work together, I think they have a chance to be a good SEC offensive line.
Able to pave the way for another 1st down. It's a pickup of 14. By the way, speaking of great Tennessee offensive linemen, how about Trey Smith being the value of the draft?
Steal.
With the Chiefs. Milton rolls, dials deep, end zone shot. Batted away last second. High at the intended receiver, Devin Taylor, the Virginia Tech transfer after starting his career at Illinois State, knocked it down.
Going back to what you said about Trey, Tom, I couldn't believe it. I understand the issue with the blood clots, but the guy played his full season of football in a COVID year and had no issues. Fell that far in the draft. Just a massive pickup for the Chiefs.
Big run for Jabari Small.
Another great block by a tight end. This time Jacob Warren inserting on a linebacker.
We talked with Alex Golish about the importance of the tight end of this offense, and we hit on this a little bit in the first half, but this offense has been great year after year, but inefficient in the red zone, inefficient at the goal line relative to everything else they did. I mean, you can lead the American in points and you can lead them in touchdown passes, but then you're middle of the pack in red zone, you're middle of the pack in goal line. How does a tight end figure into that?
It just allows you to create more formation variation, stress the defense in different ways. Really helps out in the run game as well, like we're seeing tonight.
Tennessee will be looking at a 3rd and 2 after this timeout. Rocky Top. We got DJs, we got students going crazy, we got mascots that we're able to see. Some wearing leather, but sweet boy. Cole, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, what? Oh, just hanging out with Smokey over here.
You got some biscuits in your pocket?
Nah, but he's being a good boy. I was down here last time Tennessee scored, and I could not believe how excited he actually gets when the ball is punched in for a touchdown.
He looks pretty chill right now.
He's good. He's kind of just relaxed, but when this crowd gets into it, it's.
Where are you trying to take him? Are you grabbing that? Are you going to take him on a walk? Or?
I'm kind of, if we get a touchdown here, he might be coming with me. Get excited.
Won't happen on this play. Will he get excited about a field goal?
If the crowd gets hype enough, maybe. We'll test it out here.
Go for it on 4th down. Tennessee picks it up.
If you had to come back in another life as a live mascot in the SEC, who are you choosing?
I I think Mike's at the top of the list.
I was thinking that too.
Given his setup, that's palatial.
I don't know. Jordan, we have a picture of Jordan sitting in Uga's house.
I did.
He looked pretty comfy.
I was in there. It's cush. It's nice in there, but I might be War Eagle. Do we lap around the stadium, get the people going? Cool. Like, you know, you start the thing off, right? I
think if you can go outside the SEC, I mean, Ralphie the Buffalo scares the heck out of every visiting team when he runs right towards their side.
He's probably fed pretty good too.
Oh, there's no doubt. Bevo doesn't do much.
Yeah.
He's soon to be an SEC.
Unless Uga gets near him.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think this is Smokey 10.
He's good. He's a good boy.
Well, my dog would just be in sensory overload down there. He would just be running.
There's no iguana,
everything.
so he might be okay, actually.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, no lizards down there, but he'd probably try to run out on the field, grab that oblong ball, and think it's his.
Smokey 10 has a winning percentage of .534. We need to improve that number.
What's the best all time?
Well, the national championship in '98, that guy's Smokey 8 was 91 and 22. Here's room to the left side and inside the 10. Another nice run by Jabari Small. The other thing, Cole, about your setup down there is, you know, Ralphie has like 6 guys to run him out. Mike the Tiger has real keepers. This is a blue tick hound.
Yep.
How many guys does it take to walk Smokey down? He's got 4 dudes.
Appears to be 4. Yes. Is this the entire crew, or are there more of you guys? 4. Yeah.
Ask what their responsibilities are. Like, what does each of them do? Do they split up responsibilities, Cole? Let's figure this out.
What are our responsibilities here? How do we split them up?
Who feeds him?
Feed,
bathe,
walk, pick up poop. All 3. He says they rotate them. So nobody takes him to class.
Just
he'd be going to class with me.
You got a break in class, and I got to go grab the pooper scooper and get out there in the quad.
I forgot the bags.
Davon Ferguson, the Kansas transfer, is going to look like he was cramping up. That calf is rock hard as he limps off. And Joe Milton back on the field. 10:29 to go in the 4th quarter.
Wouldn't a little RPO feel good?
Oh, it'd be great.
One thing Alex Golish was talking about is adding that down in the red zone, the ability to go RPO, create more space. The run game going so well.
Looking to the end zone. Incomplete. What is the proper way to throw that pass?
Well, that one you want to miss on the outside, right? I don't mind the trajectory. You can throw that on a low trajectory. It's just got to end up top shelf on the outside. This ends up too much inside. See, that ball is going to be thrown more towards that front pylon if you're going to miss anywhere.
Here we go. Oh, a flag on the play. Smokey didn't see the flag. Jabari Small with a touchdown.
We got a flag.
Pumped.
He loves it.
We got a chance to get it
How
again.
does he know?
Holding. Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty. Replay the down.
Jerome Carvin, senior from Cordova High School.
That's going to be right here. Carvin filling in for Cooper Mays, who's been out. I don't know if I buy it.
On 3rd and 11, Milton going to try to get this with his legs now. And to the pylon, but he stepped down at the 5. It'll be a 13-yard gain and 1st and goal for Tennessee from the 5. But we do have a flag down back at the 16.
This is the athleticism. Make you miss. He had an open receiver for a touchdown to the field, actually. I think it was Princeton Fant on a corner out man coverage.
Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay third down.
Back-to-back holding flags on Jerome Carvin.
What's the top of the screen here? Inside receiver. Right here. Got man coverage. Yeah, not sure if his eyes went there. Didn't feel he had time.
Bayless Jones moves into the slot. Milton fires, and that is bobbled and incomplete inside the 5. Jalin Hyatt couldn't haul it in, and that'll leave 4th and forever.
You know what? I love this, though. I mentioned earlier that I felt like he had some of those in-breaking routes that he just wasn't pulling the trigger on. It's a great ball right there.
Okay.
In-breaking route to Hyatt, that's one he's got to pull in. And you got a quarterback that maybe missed a couple throws, but still comes back, sees it, executes it. That's one Hyatt would love to pull down, and he will.
Opportunity for Chase McGrath from 43 yards. And that will get over the crossbar and in. Smokey only, yeah, there he is. He'd rather have 7, but he'll take 3.
It's like, get this mic out of my face. What are you doing, Cole? Who is this guy?
Decided to get away from Cole, I guess. So let's try the other corner. Getting his laps in after a field goal made it 31-6.
Not quite as pumped about the field goals.
No.
I don't think the Tennessee fans are either.
Chance for a return by Stewart. And he's out of bounds at about the 20. They'll mark him at the 23. Big one coming up Saturday, 3:30 on ABC. Alabama has never lost at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but Miami will have the advantage in quarterback experience.
Yeah, one of these guys is a millionaire for playing football.
Huh. The one with
probably not
starts.
The one you thought, right? D'Eriq King's a talented quarterback. I mean, he's played a lot of football, and if there's a DNA or a makeup of a quarterback that has proven to give Alabama problems, it's a guy that can use his legs and really hurt you. D'Eriq King can do that. He's a great passer as well.
Did D'Eriq King ever get his Lululemon deal that he wanted?
Ooh, I don't know.
He was asking for it.
You might need to hook him up. You're the guy with the Lulu.
That one blown up, but recovery by Davis, who got out of there. Excuse me. By Nick Mosley, who somehow Houdini'd his way out of there. LeBron Davis is now in at quarterback, and Tennessee got in the backfield fast.
Jeez.
Oh.
Hey, that guy with the orange jersey, might want to block him.
Caleb Tremblay is hard to miss. 6'5", 280. USC transfer. LeBron Davis, sophomore from Westerville, Ohio, takes over at quarterback. He's a walk-on. Was second team All-Central District as a senior at Central High School. And Tennessee once again able to disrupt. That'll be a loss of 1. Tremblay and Matthew Butler that time. Davis comes from an athletic family. His sister London plays volleyball at Kansas. His brother Levi is a big-time basketball prospect growing up in Ohio. Third and 13. Bowling Green content to use as much clock as possible. And keep it on the ground. And Nick Mosley gets another carry. Falcons will punt it away.
You know, in the face of their first real adversity, Tim Banks is the defensive coordinator, and this defense did a good job of adjusting. Right, a little too much zone early on, and Bowling Green was taking advantage of the space in the quick game, getting McDonald outside the pocket, so started going a little bit more man, getting up in the face of these receivers, being physical on the outside, and really started to slow down what Bowling Green had going in that second quarter.
Trayvon Flowers deep. And he picks it up after about 4 hops. And a 50-yard punt. Really special moment for the Tennessee program this summer. Back to August 8th. Peyton Manning, introduced by his dad Archie, inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. First overall pick in '98 by the Colts, 4 Super Bowl appearances. Was Archie making fun of his forehead on the bus?
I think he might have.
I think he might have been.
He said, I didn't make that big enough.
What a great speech Peyton had about the future of the
good.
game and thanking everyone who came before him. Philip Fulmer was in the crowd that night in Canton. 5-time MVP, and now he's got his own. We got his hotel out here, the Graduate, not far from, right on the strip, not far from the stadium. And the pub there, the bar within the hotel, has so much Peyton Manning memorabilia that it actually has recruiting letters framed on the wall, written to him by coaches like Steve Spurrier. Bobby Bowden's was handwritten,
yeah,
which was really impressive. Fulmer's recruiting pitch to him over the letters. And oh, by the way, Peyton and Eli, if you didn't know, are going to be part of Monday Night Football coverage this season, and they'll be doing the games together on ESPN2. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
No, it won't be any fun.
No, probably not.
No, there's probably not going to be any stories, any cracking jokes about each other. No, it's just strictly football.
Well, Eli spent at least part of his summer going tubing with Saban, who dumped him right off
how
the
good is
tube.
that highlight? I can't wait for that.
Incomplete, but flags flying, and it looks like we'll get pass interference on Bowling Green here. Really interesting.
Pass interference. Defense number 32. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
The memorabilia that they have there, but also the memorabilia that they have in Peyton's room at the football complex. It includes his old locker and a notebook that he took all of his notes in. And Cole, that's kind of a common theme. Scott Loeffler found Tom Brady's notebook from when he was a quarterback at Michigan.
Freshman year. Can you imagine Tom Brady, what was going through his mind when he's trying to absorb the offense, trying to first learn that Michigan offense, the things that he wrote down, the things that he had. And Loeffler told us he actually goes back to them every now and then. He said, there are things that I look at every day, every few days, and try to go back and take the concepts, take the ideas, take the thought process, and apply it to what I'm doing with my team. So pretty cool, number one, that he found them. I think he said he had Greasy's as well.
Yeah, he got Brian Greasy's. That was a heck of a quarterback room, by the way.
Yeah, not too bad.
Guys like Chad Henne and John Navarre came through as well. He was a student assistant and grad assistant. What do you think? Tom Brady's freshman year quarterback notebook with all of his notes. What do you think that gets on eBay?
Oh, it's got to get a lot, right?
Go through an
not
auction,
quite
yeah.
as much as an NFT these days, but you see the stuff that they're selling? Those NFTs that are going for $500,000. They look like someone made them in clip art.
I would take the Brady notebook and
So
make
would I.
NFTs out of that. So make like digital.
Hey, Cole, stop right there.
photographs.
People are
Okay,
listening.
sorry.
Yeah.
That's our business idea. Let's keep that under wraps.
Get that from Loeffler first.
Okay. Yeah.
On 2nd and 8, Milton going deep, taking a couple of shots to the end zone, and this one's hauled in. Tennessee touchdown, Cedric Tillman. That was a rope, a 40-yard strike from Milton to Tillman.
Tell you what, Tennessee fans, get used to that. This connection, Joe Milton and Cedric Tillman, they're going to continue to improve. We saw him miss a couple times today, but you can tell the trust that Milton has in his 6'3", 215-pound receiver. Let me just put it up there because I know you're going to make a play, and a great job by Tillman of coming and working back to the ball. You're going to see a lot more of that this year as they start to build more and more chemistry.
6-play, 74-yard drive. I wonder what Peyton and Archie would say about this throw.
Probably say, well, there was a day and a time I could do that. Now they just make magic on TV, kind of like the magic of that throw right there. 38 points. We got there.
Well, Joe Milton off to a great start, 10 of 15 in the first half, even though most of that came in the first quarter. Second half, tougher sledding. Is it just getting reps with your guys? Is it what Bowling Green is doing? Is it first game out?
I think it's just getting reps and being comfortable in what you're seeing as a quarterback. I mean, a lot of times you know the play on a piece of paper, but in a game against a look that you maybe hadn't seen in practice, you're not used to where these routes actually end up. And so I think it's a chemistry thing. Something's going to continue to develop, but I think Milton will go back and say, man, I missed a few, left a few out there on the table. And he also made a couple incredible throws like this last one here, extending the play, getting outside the pocket, and just a laser, giving your biggest, best 50-50 receiver a chance to go make a play.
But doesn't that go back to opportunity, like we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast? One thing Tennessee fans should be excited about, be happy about, this team should be happy about. There will be more opportunities down the field. There'll be more possessions, and there will be more chances to put up yards and points. And that's part of that opportunity.
275 yards in the second half for Tennessee. LeBron Davis in for his second series at quarterback. And a nice run on first down by Nick Mosley, picks up 5. It's a Tennessee roster that had to rebuild in the offseason. In fact, when Josh Heupel got the job, key guys had already left. Eric Gray's going to be in the backfield for Oklahoma. Wanye Morris is going to be on the offensive line. Henry To'oTo'o was arguably their most valuable defender last year. He's playing for Alabama now. So you talk about chemistry. Not only did they lose guys, they lost key contributors.
Yeah, on both sides of the football. Ty Chandler, another guy, is probably going to play a lot at North Carolina. So, look, this team with those key players was not very good last year. So when you lose them, you're not going to instantly get better. This scheme's going to allow the talent they have to develop and grow. And on defense, they just got to get an attitude back. They're going to be confident in what they want to do. And that's one thing Tim Banks mentioned. He says, I have a simple plan. I want these guys to not think too much and play fast. I think you're going to start to see that.
Since January, 11 starters left the program. 10 came in from other Power 5 teams. Tennessee defensively 10 tackles behind the line of scrimmage. They talked to us about not just getting guys, but making sure they're fits, right? You want to. Some guys leave other programs for reasons. Some guys just want playing time. Some guys are asked to leave. So make sure you're getting the right guy to come in and be a part of what you're building. High snap, recovered by the running back Mosley. Needs 11 and will get only 1. .315 and rolling. I think Tennessee is going to have opportunities in some of these non-conference games that put points on the board. That's why maybe if they don't reach the 40-point mark tonight, it's going to feel disappointing, I think, to some fans who were really excited about what they could do. But if Josh Heupel wants to put up big numbers this year, they're going to have to get the bulk of those in these games that they're predicted to win. Tennessee Tech, South Alabama, Vanderbilt. .49-yard punt and 9 on the return. We did ask him, is there carryover from how you worked the program at UCF and Tennessee? He said absolutely. And there's a lot of overlap between what we want to do and what we can do. And of course he also has the advantage of having been in the SEC under Barry Odom at Missouri. Just the points per game since 2018. Look at where Tennessee has been. 111th in the nation. Crazy. They'll put a new quarterback in now, Hendon Hooker. Virginia Tech transfer, 5th-year senior out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Hooker does has a lot of the same traits as Joe Milton. So the game plan doesn't change much.
No, I think that's one of the reasons he won that backup job, because a lot of his skill set, the mobility, is similar to Milton. You don't have to change the game plan much. With Harrison Bailey, the game plan does change. He's more of a pocket passer, a little more limited pushing the ball downfield in comparison to Milton. So Milton was the clear-cut guy. Hendon Hooker is a guy they can go to if they need to.
15 starts in his Virginia Tech career. Here's a big run up the middle, and an opportunity for Tennessee to continue to move the chains. Marcus Pierce making an impact on his first touch. And now the second string putting that tempo into play. Pick up a 4. Hooker started his Virginia Tech career 6-0 as a starter. That was the longest streak since a guy by the name of Michael Vick was at Virginia Tech back in the late 90s.
That guy was good.
He was pretty good.
I think there's any non-Tennessee fans out there excited about this last drive? Maybe just casual college football fans.
There's some interest. Did you expect more production out of the offense tonight?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you look at it, it's like 38 points. I mean, you can't be mad at it, but there was a period of time, second quarter, third quarter, where it just stalled, right? Second quarter didn't get on the field, and then when they did, Milton wasn't as clean, wasn't able to get the looks that he thought, was 1 for 8 in the second half there. So, but again, all you really care about is first the win, and second is that you can go back and watch the tape and learn from it. This is a new offense, new players, guys that need experience, guys that need to fail in order to learn how to see it correctly and do it correctly. So a lot of good, despite maybe, a little disappointed that it wasn't 50 points.
One of the reasons this offense appealed to Barry Odom when he was the head coach at Missouri and brought Josh Heupel in was Missouri at the time, especially along the offensive line, they didn't feel like they had the physicality to match up with other teams in the SEC. So how do you even the playing field? Go tempo, get the other team worn down, and then you're playing even at that point. The challenge, though, especially if you got a defensive-minded coach, and Heupel is his own boss here, but the challenge is, can you win in the SEC running 90 plays, 95 plays? Can you win with that tempo?
You can if you have an opportunistic defense that forces turnovers.
Pressure coming.
It's paramount.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, look, you run that many plays, you know what's going to happen on defense. Something's going to happen. You're going to give up points. You're going to give up yards. The defense is out there for too many plays. But if you can create turnovers, havoc plays, something they didn't do well last year, then yes, you can.
Safety blitz coming again, and the ball got loose. J.B. Brown recovered it, and that'll bring it into any Tennessee opportunity here in the fourth quarter with the second stringers in. Not a clean exchange.
Looked like Hooker was a little indecisive there, but whether he wanted to pull it out or leave it in, and hands got a little sticky. And
I asked Coach Heupel before the game, I said, why are the running back splits so tight to your quarterback? If you notice there, Jordan, I mean, the running back literally stands right next to him. He said, honestly, it's to get to the mesh faster.
Yeah.
It just happens faster. I mean, everything in this offense about speed and going fast.
Bowling Green trying to find a big play before the game comes to an end, and Nick Mosley with a 22-yard scamper after a change of direction. It's a young Bowling Green team. They were a little wide-eyed when they came through yesterday and did their walkthrough here at Neyland Stadium. A lot of guys that don't have this big game experience. They'll get another chance later this season, taking on a Minnesota team that's down 2 scores to Ohio State with about 2.5 minutes to go in Minneapolis. Tennessee gets off to the right start with a notch in the win column. A 32-point victory at home against Bowling Green. The Volunteers will open with 3 straight home games and have an opportunity next week against Pitt to try and build on this start under Josh Heupel.
A lot of good, some bad. They'll learn from the tape, and this offense is going to be fun to watch here as they start to gel.
Yeah. Milton finishes the game 11 of 23 for 140 yards. Tyan Evans with 132 yards on the ground, averaged nearly 8 yards a carry. And Milton also scored 2 touchdowns on the ground. 38-6 is the final. Josh Heupel's debut. He's with Cole.
Coach Heupel, you're 1-0 as the head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers. I want your reaction from this entire day. Vol walk, coming out of the locker room, winning your first game and coming out here to midfield.
Awesome day for Tennessee football. Fans being back here, our players getting a chance to experience Vol walk, coaches too, running through the tee, getting a chance to play in front of a great crowd tonight. Student section was phenomenal. Obviously excited about the win. There's a lot of things that we can clean up and are going to need to clean up as we move forward. But this 7-month journey, I don't take anything for granted. Proud of what our kids have done. Enjoy it tonight, and then we'll come back and get a whole lot better.
You mentioned a lot to clean up, but what do you know you're going to like when you put this film on tomorrow?
I thought our kids competed and played hard. Not perfect, but played hard. Played from snap to whistle. We were able to reset the following play. That's what you got to do as a good football team.
And you showed opportunity for this offense, for the skill guys, for the quarterback, and for this team to be able to put points on the board.
We did at times. I thought early we came out and executed and operated really efficiently. Had some things go right in the run game early. Second quarter, kind of stubbed our own toes. Some efficiency things that we can take care of, quarterback and wide receivers. Came out third quarter, did some positive things. A lot of good. A lot of things that we got to continue to improve on. It's week 1 in year 1, man. So we'll enjoy the win and come back and get a whole lot better.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Josh Heupel 1-0 in his start as Tennessee's head coach. A lot to clean up, no doubt about it. But the biggest improvement, the old adage, from game 1 to game number 2. Let's get you back to the studio. Recap of tonight, get you set for the weekend. By the way, Benjamin Watson has reps now. He's no longer a rookie. Doring, Chiz, and the new voice on set, Benjamin Watson. It's